Popcorn?
Butter.
Nachos?
Cheese.
Root beer with red licorice straw?
Right here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ready to Start the Podcast on a Sunday. Say what?
Hey, Billy Doll, don't forget to pray to Jesus.
Highly ho, neighborino. It's another fine day for our Startcast Sunday, Reno.
Hokely dokely do.
I'm Ryan Rivety. Who else is here?
It's me, and I have a very important announcement to make in a few seconds.
Is it your name?
No.
What is your name? Oh,
24.
That's Rosa, the second host of Ready to Start the Podcast. I'm Seep, though. I'm the third, I guess. Yes, you could call me the third, I guess.
The third.
I mean, we're not
Yeah.
in any particular ranking. We're ranked by
Only
height.
at 25 because 25 is cooler than 24.
Yes. And who just said that? Who is our special guest for the day? We usually have a brand new special guest every week. Who is it this time?
Well, brand new as in I've been here like 2 or 3 times, but hi. I'm Curb. I'm a friend of the podcast, so I've been on a couple of times before, but my biggest claim to internet infamy is I was one of the main fan translators for Yokai Watch for a few years, under a few different group names, currently under Spectre Subs. I say currently, but I'm not really doing it anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, remember Yokai Watch, everyone?
I remember Yokai Watch from the 90s.
It's been 3,000. I was at a thrift store the other day with Lou, and they had Yokai Watch stuff, and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, the bargain bin is the only place you're going to find Yokai Watch stuff here anymore. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Yokai Watch,
Wow.
the 3DS game. It was the $5 store favorite, the Five Below
Yeah.
favorite. But
there's the greatest polarization in that the first game is worth $5 and the third game is worth $300.
that's true. You want to tell us a little more about yourself or anything? Do you got anything else you want to say?
No, pretty much. That's what I'm known for on this podcast. That's why I'm here this week. But we'll get to that.
That's pretty cool. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a surprise Sunday Startcast. We didn't do one yesterday because it was Lou's birthday, and I was out
the
all
Yeah.
day.
Lou has to snatch all the attention.
Mhm.
all right, Seep. Here's your equal attention cake, Seep.
Thank you.
Well, do we want to talk about topics and news and media?
Really?
Well-
We're going to be talking about topics in the media? That's what we do here?
Yeah, we talk about
Yeah.
news and media.
Okay, I'm fine with it. Are you? What about you, Rosa? Do you want to talk about some topics in the news and the media, in the world of
course, I have
entertainment?
a lot to talk about, especially with like a recently aired media.
Recently
But
had
recently-
media.
have
Weird
to make-
media. That's my favorite kind. Up top. Who's with me?
Yeah,
You love consuming.
I sure do.
I love consuming. I'm a consumer. I live within the capitalist consumes.
I love when you watch recent media and you catch all the clever trends that they sneak in.
Are we doing this?
What? I'm just saying. That's one
What are-
of my
what are-
favorite things
well,
about
what are your- what
consuming
is-
recent media.
What are some of your favorite trends in recent media? Some of your favorite clever
My favorite
trends.
clever trends in recent media. Let me think about this because there's a lot to pick from. Let me think of some media that I've watched recently. What if there was like a family and
Okay.
I think I've noticed this sometimes. You'll see, I don't know if this is just me,
All right.
families on the TV, they bicker a lot, but they also, by the end, they kind of make amends. I feel like I've seen that in Family Guy a few times. I don't know if it's just like a Seth MacFarlane thing.
Yeah,
Seth MacFarlane invented the sitcom.
yeah, he was kind of the first
True.
one to really start that clever trend of families who bicker,
Mhm.
but by the end they'll get along.
Right.
And the
right.
dad
He's
like,
pulls
even-
through.
Trailblazer.
And it inspired like the first ever live action sitcom, 10.
Peter Griffin was in Leave It to Beaver the entire time. You just got to really squint and find bloody Peter Griffin in the background of Leave It to Beaver.
You know, one of my favorite trends in media is kind of like this kind of thing I've noticed sometimes where like if you go to the settings like on a lot of like media watchers, There's like this
Okay.
thing where you could turn like these like words onto the bottom that help you read. I don't know if that's like a more recent thing
Really?
with media, but it's a big like trend in media I've been enjoying lately. It helps you like understand what the characters are saying.
The words are identical to what the characters are saying?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's identical to the words the characters in the media are saying.
Who wrote those? Who's
Uh,
writing those? Is that like the book it was based on or something?
I don't know. It might be like based on the media it's based on. I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out the next time I'm using my media viewing device.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember there's this. It's being very experimental, but there's this way that and this is like a news media shop called Netflix. When you enter it does this like really interesting thing where like the subtitles in the bottom
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
is like different from what the characters are saying. It's very interesting that the
Huh.
media drawer Netflix is doing that. It's very
Is that so
neat.
you can consume two different things at the same time? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like two different interpretations.
Did you
Huh.
know
It's
that
new-
they invented a left and right side of your brain? The left side is to consume
Really?
one media, and then the right side is to consume other media. So you were just a media consumption machine.
Did this just come out? Did they announce this?
This was
somewhere?
announced at
that at
CinemaCon,
D23?
actually.
Oh,
The
wait,
Paramount CEOs came out wearing big, huge brains. I can't believe it.
Shut up. Oh.
Hold on. Before we get to our first topic, which is actually related to something like media. I just want to read this tweet from from friend of the show, Blake. I need to find it real quick. It's a great tweet that relates to
Scoutcast alumni.
it relates
I
to.
also want to make
Oh yes.
an announcement.
Uh-huh.
Now, as you may all heard, due to a recent event, I am now currently banned from Club Penguin.
Who heard
And
this?
yes, so in order to get myself unbanned, I am sending a team of very well educated explorers down into the mines,
This better be good.
the Yoka mines.
They
So
do
you're
say
on the
that
way.
whoever attempts the Club Penguin speedrun risks never returning. Sorry, the ban from Club Penguin speedrun. I don't know what other Club Penguin speedruns there are,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very risky.
Yeah. So in order to get myself unbanned to attempt this again, we're sending a team of the best explorers. They'll be on their way soon, but for now we're gonna show the meter, and they're gonna let us know when it's full.
I had to put a meter.
Alright,
is
Ryan.
this the meter you
Yeah,
sent
put-
me?
Put the meter on screen, I guess.
I guess we'll find out the conclusion to whatever's happening here
Yeah,
later.
so stay tuned, everyone, if you want to hear the end to what she just said.
There's the meter. All right, before I get to
All
the
right.
first topic, I just want to read this tweet from my dear friend Blake. It's a great
Okay.
tweet. I hate CinemaCon because it's just a week of movie news announcements tweeting Paramount executives have come up to the stage in oversized diapers. Lots of laughs from the crowd. No doubts we're about to see the trailer for the live-action Rugrats movie. Hold on to your diapies.
They also got to bring out a giant Reptar mascot suit that's like wandering around awkwardly, with hopefully air conditioning in the building.
The guys in the
Of course.
diapies are helping them wander on stage. There's a live-action Rugrats movie coming, and specifically, the babies are going to be CGI, and the adults will just be live-action humans. What do we all think of this?
Does this imply that like when you're born you are made of CGI, and then when you like go to college or get a job you become live action?
It's just like Baby Geniuses.
What's the
Is that a real
cutoff?
thing?
What's the
Baby
cutoff for this
Oh, yeah.
universe?
There's like 5 Baby Geniuses movies.
Okay, well, that's the question now we have to ask. Are they gonna be like realistic-looking CGI babies, or will they still be like lumpy and dumpy looking? You think?
Okay, let me think about this. So we know it's a live action CGI hybrid.
Of course.
Do we know that there's like human actors in it? Is that like a confirmed part of it?
The only thing we
Yeah, their
know
parents.
about this movie is that the babies are CGI, and that the non-babies will not be CGI. Specifically, what I think they said, and that
So
the director is Jason Moore of Pitch Perfect.
wow, couldn't imagine a better person for the job.
I can't wait to hear the Rugrats doing the Cup song, and it'll bring back the Cup song for what's the generation now? Gen Alpha is gonna do the Cup song
my
in schools,
sister-
but wearing diapers.
My sister did that. That's worse though if they're doing diapers. That might make it worse.
The diaper song.
Diaper Cup song. It's the same thing, but the noise they make is just like diaper splatting.
Do you think we're gonna have like school pep rallies where like the principal comes up on stage with a big diaper because all the kids are into the new Rugrats challenge on TikTok?
That's really bad. I'm imagining like the 60-year-old principal going on stage in the diaper. Oh, and then a student comes, tweets like, "Principal's just walked on stage wearing oversized diaper." No doubt we're about to see.
Hold on to your diapers.
They're gonna have to ban diapers in school, like they banned silly bands when I was in school.
Oh my
They're
God,
gonna have
yes.
a pile of confiscated diapers until the end of the day.
Oh my god.
So I think this was like soft announced at some point a few years ago. I think in tandem with the newest Rugrats reboot.
Yes, I think you're
Um,
correct. This is something I feel like they've announced like a live action Rugrats movie like 8 times, but it might have just been that one time.
Right. And so they've affirmed it again. I'm kind of surprised that it's still happening just because I mean it doesn't sound like a good idea. But my speculation for how this is going to be handled, I think the movie like starts out, it's live action, they're all human actors. You have baby actors too. But then when the babies are left alone, it like turns into an imagination world, and then the babies become like CGI cartoon designs when they go on their adventures.
I almost feel like that's too artistically bold.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna do?
I think they're just gonna be ugly live action looking babies the entire movie. That's like my
Okay,
thought.
but like entirely CGI. So they're gonna be like the baby from Twilight. Is what you're saying?
Like the baby genius babies, like we were saying. Like they'll
Baby-
be like CGI realistic looking babies.
Okay.
There's gonna be a scene in the trailer where Chucky is stuck in a shed, and the human man who's not actually one of the Rugrats adults and is just like this original character that they made
Right.
for the movie to be played by Chris Pratt is gonna walk into the shed, and it's gonna be horrifically off model Chucky, and they're gonna
Yeah.
scream at each other, and the movie will be delayed.
And then Chucky can go,
God.
meows.
Yeah.
Go on, you can go.
I was saying I almost feel like just having the babies CGI the whole time is even scarier than like 3-dimensional Klasky Shupo designs on screen.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
So, I mean, the way Baby Geniuses did it, they had real babies in there, but
That's how you
they
know
did
they
a lot
cared
of,
about
like-
the fans. They had real
that's how you
babies.
know. Back when baby movies cared about baby fans.
Yeah.
Moms.
Easy endangered babies.
They just had heavily digitally altered real babies. They'd have like CGI bodies when they were running around and stuff. And then the alternative
those were
is
the babies they made in a lab
what?
called Finkles.
Oh yes.
Whatever.
Those
What?
knows all the lore about baby geniuses.
Did you like marathon the baby? Genius
No,
movie?
Is that actual Baby Geniuses lore?
no,
Okay.
no.
like,
I'm just saying they
Joke's
didn't
on
use
me.
real babies for the production. They just made like lab babies.
They made
Oh,
real
Finkles.
they made real super babies, and they were supposed to be like sent out after the movie, like out to the public, to, like save the day. But it was really controversial, so they had to cancel the baby project, and the movie's left over from like the baby like initiative.
Yeah,
Okay.
they melt them all.
Was a large shipment of like genetically enhanced super babies like dumped off in the middle of the ocean somewhere
Yeah.
Yes.
in the project?
Yeah.
failed?
Now they're growing mollusks in their faces.
They're gonna
Okay.
wash up like the Garfield phones. They're just gonna find this whole box full of
Yeah.
super babies.
Oh, that's how you set up the sequel. The super
They're gonna,
babies.
they're gonna take
return.
revenge.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Revenge of the Super Babies.
see, you said this is a bad idea. I agree, but I'm not surprised they're going forward with this. because Nick really loves Rugrats right now. Like they're really pushing it as like a brand, I guess, quote unquote. Like SpongeBob, Avatar, Rugrats, TMNT are like the quote unquote brands they're like pushing the most. So like live action Rugrats in every way, shape, or form is a bad idea. But
why
I'm not
those
surprised.
4 IPs? Why those 4 IPs? Because it's like SpongeBob is for the kids, and then TMNT I guess is for the preteens, and then Avatar,
Joker is for everybody.
And then
Sorry, that's an old one.
Avatar is like for the teens and adults that are like nostalgic and into anime, I guess. What audience is Rugrats for?
Well,
Rugrats is the 90s property.
Yeah.
The only socially acceptable 90s property that they can use anymore.
I think it do Rocco, but I feel like the guy who made Rocco probably doesn't want to do any more Rocco. And it's
right, yeah. I think Rugrats is just
better from Rocco than what we got from that special, so.
Yeah.
I think Rugrats is just the most already long running and merchandisable of their 90s shows. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to like it's kind of harder to do that with something like Hey Arnold, I think.
Which is strange because I feel like that's the one like you could bring back and like maybe do something with the most. Because
that's like in terms of quality.
Yeah,
definitely.
like you could do something with the characters in that actually for real. But like I don't know. Nick like really doesn't want to do anything with like if I was gonna pick like a '90s Nick thing to like keep bringing back, it'd be that one because I feel like the characters have more potential. Than some of the other things. Rugrats doesn't really need to be touched ever again, I think.
I think Rugrats is just like... Oh, what? Go ahead, Rosa.
I wanted to say it. I think the thing is they're trying to market the Rugrats again. This is like them trying to relive that era where they were like profiting off like a lot of the Rugrats merch.
Yeah, and someone in chat just said that
already...
too. For context, for anyone who doesn't know, Rugrats was this is a funny way to word it. It was SpongeBob before SpongeBob. I don't think it can be like understated how just absolutely massive Rugrats was when it first came out.
It started the trend of like TV cartoons getting movies.
Yes,
back in the 90s because it made like $1 billion or something. I don't know if it's literally billion. It's something close. I think it was like the highest grossing animated movie ever made when it came out.
But it's hard to remember now if you weren't there, and because SpongeBob, like when it came out, like took over so fast. I feel like Rugrats was like massive for a bit, like massive.
Yeah,
like Twin Towers massive.
Yeah, they named the Twin Towers Phil and Lil.
Oh boy,
I love that commercial. Now we can tell them apart.
Oh man, that's not much of a problem anymore, is
it? Here comes the airplane, Phil.
That's too easy.
Well, Tommy,
I know, right?
My toy plane. It's gonna crash into Phil and Lil.
So yeah, I mean, this is gonna be... I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this. I guess it's great that a whole new generation can be introduced to these amazing characters in a whole new, breathtaking way.
Now, I want to ask real quick. Now, related to those brands, they've done they're doing live action Rugrats. They've done live action Avatar more than once now for some reason. Live action TMNT already exists. When do you think they're gonna try to push for like a live action SpongeBob thing somehow? Like that's like the last like cornerstone. Do you think like the SpongeBob team, if they were asked that, they'd just be like, "We're not doing that. Stop asking," or like, would they be like, "No, you have to do it."
Is that not what they were trying to do with Sponge Out of Water? But like,
right?
That doesn't count though.
They're gonna cast humans in SpongeBob.
How does that not count?
Because that needs to be the whole movie. It needs to be the whole movie to me for it to count.
They flirt with it a lot. Like it's definitely a part of like the SpongeBob visual identity.
I see what you mean.
Mixed live action.
Isn't the Sandy movie kind of that? Never mind. Now it's got it right. They did it.
Yeah, actually, yeah. The Sandy movie.
That one is very live action. Yeah.
I think even just like the shift to focusing on CGI in the movies is kind of the same phenomenon happening.
Yeah, it's just interesting because SpongeBob, I think, is very like artist driven right now. I would say generally, I feel like nobody working on SpongeBob, like the main two shows, like has like any interest in this kind of stuff. But I imagine Nick comes to them like
forgot about-
once a week and is like, "Hey, we gotta launch our new Sponge Coin. Can you make a commercial for that?" And they just like, "All right."
SpongeBob, you know.
I forgot about the musical. I guess like the musical is kind of
Yeah.
a thing that they could.
Yeah.
They also did
Alright.
the anniversary episode where the actors played themselves in live action.
Okay.
And that was cute. But usually it's like cute, like creative stuff like that, I feel.
Right.
And
But-
then the Sandy movie.
Sandy movie
Yeah,
is the
Hollywood
closest.
Hollywood wants slap with like the same 5 jokes. So
There's no SpongeBob live action movie where he's in a car with someone yet, which is what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
Right.
who should be? Who should
I
be
mean,
the-
technically, David Hasselhoff counts.
You see the car?
Yeah.
he's the
okay.
car. He's the car, and then who's the white man buddy cop in the SpongeBob buddy cop film? What celebrity actor are they picking to play?
I don't know. There's like a bucket of them.
I mean, David
Before from-
Hasselhoff could be
Everyone-
both. So
If it was in the spirit of the show, they'd pick some like aged obscure celebrity.
Right, they love those.
Probably. They love their dad cameos in SpongeBob.
David Hasselhoff is like the biggest celebrity they've had on that show, probably to some degree, and that's still like David Hasselhoff, which is like
Yeah.
a funny
and,
choice.
like, I think I had no idea who he was, but I think it was just funny that he did it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know,
What?
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Looks like our explorer has arrived.
Okay.
okay, let me
Yeah.
Are you gonna-
let me get him on
should we
screen.
put this on the screen?
Weird Al and SpongeBob one.
Uh.
That's true. That's like the one like I'm surprised he hasn't been in SpongeBob yet.
I mean, they've had a lot. I know, like in the recent some of the anniversary specials, they'll have like really quick celebrity appearances.
He's been like
David Bowie.
How has Weird Al been on
Yeah.
every like cartoon ever except SpongeBob? That's like the one he should be in
I
by
don't
now.
know. I feel like he has to be eventually. Like
Yeah.
we're due for the Tom Kenny Weird Al like extravaganza.
Rosa, who is this?
Did you know
Who is this? Who's this guy?
the explorer? That's the explorer. They call them the Yibbles. They're on their way into the wet mines to look for the resources called Schmeckles to help get me unbanned from Club Penguin.
I think you're
Schmeckles.
getting worse, Rosa. I think you're getting worse. Like
What do
your
you mean?
your routines, I think, are getting more severe because I don't think any of what you just said is scrutable to any person. Like that.
Hey.
What was that?
That's the evils. That was the evil. He's
The
telling us
Yibbles?
that they're yeah. His
just-
teams are like in the entrance. He's gonna head down soon, and he's gonna keep in touch when he finds the resources.
Yibbles is the noises Jack Black makes in like the greatest song in the world song, where he goes yibble 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 yibble.
Yubbles.
Was the vertical meter on screen explained at some point?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So when when the evils find the resources, it will raise the meter.
Did that help, Niall? Oh,
But yeah, live
Do you have
action
anything else to say
Rugrats.
about-
The excitement is
yeah, do it.
no, the excitement I think is really real. I think the fans have been asking for this for a long time. Been wondering what our favorite
know-
babies would look like in the real
Our
world.
favorite babies have been due for a modern revival that introduces these amazing characters to a new audience while still paying respects to the longtime fans.
As
We've been
everybody
waiting
knows,
since 2021 for another one of these.
as everybody knows, babies are not real. So this is sure to inspire whimsy in the minds of children everywhere. Children who just spawn from the sky at the age of 5 or above, or whatever age is old enough to have plastic toys without the fear of them eating them.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think I will actually side with this movie if they just say fuck it and make it like some like early 2000s live action like Dr. Seuss ass movie where like all the sets are like kind of weird and like horrific looking, like all
and you
the
get like you got to recreate like Dee Dee's hair,
Yeah,
in, like,
yeah.
a live action way.
Oh my god.
I think
I
Okay,
feel like that would be too visually interesting for
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they
Well, I-
probably want to do with it.
Yeah, I think it'll be really funny if you just have a scene where Grandpa Lou is on like life support, and then the babies think he's stuck in a virtual world.
Yeah? And what do?
Well, they try to stop it. So we get like a scene where like they go into like a badly CGI Matrix world, like from the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror,
Okay.
and they're like in there trying to find um
Wait.
trying to turn them off.
When the live action CGI babies go into the CGI world, they look like the babies from the show, and it's like that's how you know it's for the fans.
Right, that's how you know it's for the fans. And once again, they had to go into these towers, but they had to fight their way through these little strange parasites. And once they're in, Tommy's gonna have to pray to whatever algorithm and then jump into the void to release Grandpa Lou.
We got any more topics, Ryan?
Sorry, just one more thing. I'm just imagining Spike the dog looking like the fish, like in the Cat in the Hat live action movie. I want this movie to look like this now. I'm gonna be so upset when it doesn't. I'm gonna be so upset when it doesn't have like scary, horrible sets.
We're gonna have our second horrible Klasky Shupo live action dog.
Remember
know someday from Ronald McDonald's Adventures.
Yes,
whatever?
I need the Rugrats to look like a hellscape, and it's not going to. Now I'm upset, and I'm doing myself. Now I'm actually gonna be upset when I see it. I think I'll save the level 5 topic for after the next one because it might be a bit of a longer one. Me and Curb talk about
the grand finale.
One more bit about Rugrats. Someone said Wild Thornberry's after credit scene, and I'm just imagining like something with the same energy as when Banjo Kazooie were revealed from Smash because nobody thought they were going to see these characters again. And then Nigel just like comes out of nowhere with like his big hype orchestral music.
And it doesn't show his face, but he says smashing, so you know it's him, and the audience just goes crazy.
The test audience that definitely was not made up audio at the leaked screening is gonna go crazy.
Oh my god, they're doing it! They're actually doing it!
What if someone, what if people were like hearing about that and then someone tries to recreate it with like a deep fake of like Nigel Thornberry? I am Nigel.
I'm Nigel.
But is Dale gonna be in the movie?
No, we have to move on. We can't.
See, the live action Rugrats movie.
We could be here all day listing every single Rugrats in Klasky Shupo universe character. I'm saying we have to draw a line.
Oh, the Rocket
not gonna be a 3 hour. We're not going to spend 3 hours when we only have 2 topics.
When the Rocket Power Gang skates by in scene 47. So we don't usually talk about HBO Max like removals on the show because they do. It happens so frequently, and there's just not much to say ever. Besides, it's disappointing. So it's something we just don't really talk about because it's not worth it. But I did want to talk about this most recent set of shows they removed. Because it's a really weird lineup of shows to remove. Let me get the list real quick. What's up here? Okay, here we go. They are removing Chowder, which, disappointing, but I guess that's, it makes, I guess, 0.1% sense. They haven't done anything with Chowder in years, and the max that all it takes. But then you immediately just get into weird stuff. They're removing Gumball, which is like their biggest show, I would say, like one of their biggest shows ever, I would say, probably.
Right.
And a show that is coming back within like the year, like early next year, probably.
Yeah.
So there's that. They're removing Regular Show. Another
show that's coming back.
Another show that is both one of their biggest shows ever. I mean, I feel like I see a new tweet about Regular Show with like 10K likes every day now. And it's also, like you said, another show that is coming back.
Yeah.
Steven Universe, which is not coming back to our knowledge, but it is also another one of their megaton shows. It is a show currently featured in the game Multiverses, which is a promotional game by all means. So if you play Multiverses, like, oh, I like this Garnet person, you can't watch their show. And We Bare Bears, another one of their big, massive shows that also has a continuation airing still. That's gone too, and I don't get it. This is like a lot of the time it's like older shows that is disappointing. But in a cynical CEO way, I could see why they removed them. Like a really cynical CEO way, I could get it. I don't get this one at all. The reason was the official reason. A source close to Max tells IGN that the reason Cartoon Network shows being removed was part of a standard content update for the streaming platform. Whatever that means. Literally whatever
That's
that
what
means.
we're calling it now.
It's like the equivalent of
content
removed Hero
update.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing is like streaming is like kind of pulling back now. I think during the big like 2020 boom of streaming services, I think the selling pitch was you can have one place to watch basically everything under a certain like company's umbrella.
Yes.
So at first HBO Max had like every HBO show, every Cartoon Network show, every Warner Brothers movie.
There was at least a month I would have called it the best streaming service. Like at least a month.
Oh yeah, it started out strong. And I think what's happening now is I think it's probably just turned out to just not be a financially viable way to release things. So they're just I think streaming is kind of reverting back to something like Netflix where it just has a bunch of random stuff and stuff will get removed every month and random stuff will get added again. That's what I'm kind of seeing happening with this.
Everyone's
Netflix
gonna
is also losing money, so Netflix isn't even stable anymore in terms of
No.
like viewership.
None of them are. Absolutely no streaming service is stable right now. You know what? Tubi probably is. Tubi probably is somehow. It's probably only Tubi somehow.
It's on Tubi. It's on Hibi. It's on Poob. You can watch it on Poob.
It's just so strange. Streaming has failed. I think it is objectively failed.
I think it can be called. It can be called now that the streaming project has been deemed a failure, and it's just going to diminish in value over time. And I don't really know what comes after that. You know, like I don't know what the next big idea is.
So
Literally everyone went so in on streaming that I don't know how we like fix what has been done.
Legitimately, I think like the majority of entertainment is going to be YouTube and Twitch, and like I think like basically it feels more like gaming content is going to be the thing for kids than actual like TV shows. So I don't know if there's a solution.
In the end of the day, I think the only way they'll find a solution if it's like something that they could profit off. But in reality, it's like the only way we'll get all this content, none of this cut out, if they don't mind doing this at a loss, if they like just don't really care. But that's not how it works, sadly.
Yeah, and I don't really know. Like I don't know what the solution is, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what the most sensible thing to do here is, but it is. It's just kind of. It is kind of crazy to just seeing this whole thing kind of come down with no real backup plan.
Yeah.
It seems like a bunch of companies back this with like no plan B, basically.
I think once they start removing stuff for Disney Plus, that's how you know it's really over.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, Disney Plus, is it like I feel like it's doing I haven't heard bad about Disney Plus.
That's like the only streaming source that doesn't remove shit anymore. Like everything is there pretty much. You get like a few like scant, like weird, obscure Disney Channel shows. Like everything else is there pretty much. But they haven't removed anything yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I think if stuff starts getting removed from Disney Plus, that's how you know it's really over. I think.
Yeah. I wonder what Disney Plus is doing right in that case, because they still make. Do they still make shows? I only ever hear like when they make Star Wars stuff. I feel like that's the only thing I hear coming out of Disney Plus.
They're getting audiences because like every couple of years they buy out another major like IP factory, and so they basically have people in a chokehold to use their platform. So
I guess it's worth it just to watch all the Simpsons at this point.
Yeah, and I guess Disney also gets to profit off of Hulu.
Yeah,
which is kind of a more of a revolving door a little bit. Like there's not one brand.
Hulu's probably just the best streaming service at this point, just because like if you just want to watch something, it's probably there at this point. They were like the only people that had OKKO for like a full year at least.
Yeah, they have a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff. They have a lot of currently airing sitcoms. It's like the only streaming service I know of that will just like put new episodes of things on after they air
Yeah.
instead of just dumping it all out in like seasons.
Listen, aren't they the only streaming left with Over the Garden Wall?
I think so.
That's insane. It's not on Max. That's like such like a you get people watch it in the fall and you really advertise it kind of show. It's insane. I just keep streaming. It's failed. We can't. We're not. I don't know what to do. We're gonna like bring VHS back or something.
Different streaming services are also trying to get into anime, which like previously only anime was really only doing well on like Crunchyroll, but now I think it's doing better on Netflix as well. But like they were trying to get anime on like Disney Plus and on and then on Hulu, and it feels like those platforms kind of doom anime because I don't think anime fans are usually going to those at all.
Didn't they have like Naruto on Disney Plus? That's what it was.
They had Bleach, the new Bleach.
Okay, it was Bleach.
Hulu has a couple of newer anime, usually from Shonen Jump stuff, but it just it feels like they're taking the property because no anime fans like I know more about anime at this point than Western animation, but I don't think any anime fans are going to Disney Plus and Hulu like at all.
Maybe they're getting new viewers. Maybe that's the method.
I guess that's what they're trying to, but I just don't think the audience overlap is really there.
Yeah, it's weird and also like kind of it's like super annoying because like imagine like anime suddenly becomes exclusive to like a Pacific streaming service, and like that would be like agitating and like.
Are you like halfway
annoying.
across your room right now?
No. This
She's in the Club Penguin mines, remember?
Okay.
But yeah, it's just generally annoying, and like it's kind of hard to say like what would happen to like the releases of the anime because like we know Netflix at least had like a lot of trouble releasing like JoJo.
Oh
Which
yeah.
was-
Yeah, Netflix took a while to get used to it because the thing is, like, anime fans tend to not like the binge format as much. I think a lot of anime fans want the weekly episode because a lot of anime is like building up the hype and the discussion and stuff. So I think
Yeah,
like the batch release just didn't really work out. Pokemon is still doing it for some reason, but
I think Pokemon can get away with that.
Pokemon probably get away with it. I mean, Pokemon being Netflix locked is also only a North America thing, or it might only be a US thing. I feel like it still airs on TV in Canada or something.
Probably.
So,
Sounds about right. I mean, here's the thing about streaming. Streaming worked like when it was like just Netflix, and then like once Netflix got popular and everybody tried to make their own, it like splintered audiences too much. The mirror got too like complex. Back in the day, it was like you want to watch like The Office and Invader Zim. It's all on Netflix. Like those two like very drastically different shows from different properties from like different like companies. It's just on Netflix, and now it's like, well, if you want to watch those shows, you got to get Paramount Plus and the Peacock, and Peacock has like no other shows, so you're just getting it for The Office, basically.
Now hold on. Peacock has the Ted show.
It's got 2 whole shows.
And Please Don't Destroy the Treasure Mountain, which is a movie where the kid who played Dustin dies.
Who?
Dustin?
Dustin from Stranger Things.
Oh. Dustin from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
One of the
there's
Stranger Things kids.
there's a movie where the actor plays himself, and he just dies near around the end.
Only on the cock.
Peacock's
only
the
on the
worst
cock.
fucking streaming service. I gotta say it. Just an absolute awful streaming service. Like what a like a
I think
fucking
even
arrogant thing to make.
I think even from like an infrastructure, like it's just like a poorly made application too.
It just
I've noticed.
You know anyone who has Peacock? Anyone who has Peacock bought it for like a week to like watch the TED show, and even then, most people probably pirated the TED show.
Hey,
I feel like,
it's
the
only-
I feel like my
show's
family
good,
had
so-
Peacock. I
You
think
think
my
your
family had Peacock, but I don't even remember why my family had Peacock at all. Like, I literally don't remember what.
so probably wanted to watch like Community. You know?
I don't
Like
even know.
My brother got that for like the FNAF movie.
Some Okay, sure, yeah, Peacock has the FNAF movie. Good for it. That shit.
I think they had the FNAF movie. I think they took it off. I think because they had it on streaming to like play into the hype of like when it released. And then when they removed it, it built up demand so that people would buy it on other platforms, I think.
Sure, all the kids who like FNAF who know about pirating definitely bought it.
Yeah.
Sure, they didn't go to like watch movies online 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do the kids know about pirating? But I was gonna start going off about like torrents and stuff.
I mean,
go.com.
I'm pretty sure people upload entire movies in like 5-minute chunks on TikTok.
TikTok? Wait, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think some people watch movies like that.
I'm not surprised. I'm literally not surprised.
I mean, that's just
when they used to put anime on YouTube in 3 parts.
It's basically because I mean that's just like the video platform most kids are using. So
someone in chat says Peacock has Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat. YouTube.com has Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat.
Yeah.
That means nothing.
The only streaming service.
It's like saying
your local church has Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat.
It's like saying, oh, my streaming service is the Wayside cartoon. It's all on YouTube.
My streaming service has the Donkey Kong Country TV show.
Well, mine has Z Squad. Z Squad. What do you think of that?
Well, mine has Pet Alien. Yeah, remember Pet Alien?
I have to look this up to double check if I remember this. Okay, I do now.
I wanted to bring up. Does anyone remember the video of like? Oh, like it's like because please buy our TV packages, or else we're gonna have to kill these beloved
Cubo
animated characters. Yes, that's the one.
When the Cubo TV channel was shutting down, and then they gunned down each of the characters one by one in the creepypasta video.
Yes, I love that video. I think it's real.
I referenced that once, and there were a lot of people who were like, "I still don't know if this was real or not."
my upcoming scripted bit was going to reference that prank, so joke stolen.
Oh no! You can still bring it up.
That'll be thematically relevant.
Yes. It'll be a nostalgic callback.
I just really like the idea of it being real, I think. Just the concept of it being real. Like, Cubo the Baby TV network, like, someone, like a rogue employee is so pissed. Like, he loved his job. He really believed in Cubo, and he's so fucking mad at all the babies not watching enough Cubo, so it's getting taken off the air. So, it's like a threat to, like, the 4-year-olds watching. He slowly guns down all their favorite characters. I just think that's such an awesome idea.
Yeah. If you've never heard of this, it's just I don't know what it's just look up like I don't know.
It's called Cubo Final Minutes on Air.
Here's an image of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if funny is the right word.
It's
like, I feel like this could actually scare a child.
It's really funny.
I think
that's kind of funny.
I think if a kid saw this video, they'd be scared. But as an adult, it's just supremely funny to me. Watching, like, Bob the Builder get, like, shot in the face and, like, a skeleton appearing within his, like, bloody shot face. And the camera, like, zooms in sometimes when they get shot to, like, show their, like, bloody face.
This would scare a child in the same way that I got scared on YouTube in, like, 2008, 2009 when people uploaded, like, fake Mario game boxes or something. And it was, like, Mario covered in blood. And does anybody else remember this phenomenon of fake game boxes?
I remember Larry Koopa Heartbreaker, where he's like shooting zombies.
I love the message at the end.
Thing you're talking about, Herb.
I just love the message at the end of this video, which is due to the negligence and selflessness of our viewers, Cubo is forced to cease broadcasting for your favorite programming as of 11:59 EST. February 27th, 2021. And at the very end was to say, it's like, we at Cubo and EW Scripts Company expected better from our viewers, and they have failed us. This is your fault.
We expected better from our viewers that can only read half the alphabet.
And then at the end, it shows 2006 to 2021. Thanks for nothing.
Oh my god! You know what's funny about this like cast of characters?
Huh?
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget could like stop this just by saying, "Go, Gadget, bulletproof head."
Do you think he didn't do enough? Maybe he wanted to
No.
die.
Maybe that's the truth. That's why none of these characters are like fucking running away. They're all just standing there dying. Maybe they all wanted.
Tommy Earth.
Yeah.
I
Tommy
want to
from
end it
Earth.
all.
Please, don't spare my life.
Maybe it's like they're standing there in confidence that like I know that the kids will save us. I know they won't let us down.
Bob's like, don't worry, guys. God will save us. And like Bob gets shot, and, like his tomato sauce goes everywhere. It's like, ah!
That'd be an epic robot chicken sketch, I think.
Yeah,
where they're all getting shot down one by one, and they're like, no.
It's really just
Yeah.
what we're doing right now, isn't it? We're on
Yeah.
Seth Green's fucking level.
We're in the House of Green.
If you shot Inspector Gadget, wouldn't it just like do nothing because he's made of metal? Wouldn't it just like reflect off him or something?
He'd go like wow wow, and his eyes would spiral around, and he'd go wowzers.
It's really funny. We like remake this whole video, everything's the same, and then when it gets to Gadget at the very end and shoots him, he just goes, "Owie!"
Yeah, that's like a realistic power scaled version of this, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, because then like if you shot Bob the Tomato, like he doesn't have any innards, so maybe he could walk around a bit for a bit more afterwards. And Bob the Builder's got that helmet on, so he could probably block a few shots. And He-Man swag and Chad and Aaron, so he wouldn't get shot by the bullet. He'd use his mighty sword.
I wonder if there are any kids who like hated this for that specific reason, that it's unrealistic. Was that another minor?
I hope there's no minors in this call. This is adults only.
Oh.
It's one of the Yubble.
Is that
Yeah,
what
it's
supposed to
robot
be?
chicken. It's adults only.
Yeah,
This is a
the
grown-up
Yubble.
show.
The Yubble has informed they have received materials. They
All right,
made good
Ryan, time to
progress.
put another image on the screen.
Steve hates this.
All right. Wash that mouth. Go back into the mines.
Well, let me get the next meter on screen. Do we have anything else to say to HBO Max? I forgot we were talking about that. It was too engrossed to talk about the Cubo death.
I
I
meant
mean-
to make this point earlier that it feels like there's very similar things going like across the pond in animation right now because like I remember that there was a tweet not so long ago about like Gen Alpha eating or watching all of like Gen Z and millennials regurgitated cartoons or something like that. And it just feels like it just must be a problem with animation in general because anime also has like a whole bunch of reboots and remakes in the works, like almost comparable to the amount of original shows or adaptations that are coming out. So I don't know if it's just like corporate rot or something and just like an overall like entertainment industry crisis, but yeah, that's definitely very parallel situations going on.
Yeah, like
think
right
maybe.
now the Rama half like remake just came out.
Yeah, and then they announced another Rumiko Takahashi. I forgot which one is getting remade next, but pretty sure they're doing another one.
You know
Is
what?
it
You know what I
Inuyasha?
think.
Yes,
They did Rusei Yatsura already.
Mhm.
Now they're doing Rama. I thought there was a third one, but maybe not.
It
There probably
yeah.
will be.
it would be it would be Inuyasha.
Yeah, I guess
Because
Inuyasha would be next.
It's
But
definitely like the big three of her work.
yeah, well, the one someone said the One Piece remake, but the One Piece remake is probably because of the Netflix series, so they're capitalizing on that now.
Yeah.
Steve, what do
But
you
yeah,
think?
know
there's
what?
a One Piece anime remake.
Yeah, you know what I think all this really is?
Yeah?
I think this is all one big clever trend that we're witnessing.
Yeah? What's the clever trend?
The clever trend of like reboots and remakes and revivals. I think it's just in. It's hot.
The 3 R's.
Yes.
R3.
I don't remember they
Oh,
announced
no, the way-
recently.
Hosted by the Paramount CEO instead of Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
I don't remember I was watching recently, where not watching. We talked about this like semi recently. Like they announced like a reboot for something, It was just like the most like who's this for? Like what kid is gonna like look forward to
The
this?
Megamind thing?
Megamind. It was Megamind. Yeah. I don't know. That happens a lot now. They just announce stuff. Like they keep announcing stuff for adults for kids. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's for the adults who are gonna post like clips on like YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and get like 20,000 likes, and then nobody will actually go on the streaming service to watch the show.
Right.
He's on the cock. Come on.
So-
Megamind's on the cock.
He's on the cock. Minion! I need my lubricant.
Okay.
God. Why?
Do we have any topics left?
We only have one, and then we'll move on to what we watched or play this week and a few questions. There was other things, but like it's stuff I like. There's a few other news things we could have talked about, but I don't think it's anything we all cared about.
You don't care about the chaotics supposedly having been planned for the Sonic movies?
I'm gonna wait for that. They might come back.
Okay.
I've been sitting here for the past 45 seconds wondering, should I make a Hawk to a joke about what we just said with the minions on the cock?
I think you just did. Curve, I think
Yeah.
you just did.
I think I was going to do it more gracefully than that, but I decided, am I ready to unleash shot upon the world or not?
Bouncing on it in a way that's clever and trendy. All right.
Oh my god.
All right. So literally, I think like the day or two after the last show we did, Level 5 finally aired their awesome direct that was supposed to like be like 5 months ago or something. And they showed so many trailers for games that will come out 8 years from now. I don't care about any of them. We're just gonna talk about. That sounds so mean. I mean, I have to be honest. I'm not like a Level 5 head. I think there's an expectation that if you like a company, like a game from a company, you have to like every single thing they make and like be excited for everything they make. I don't feel that way about Level 5. I just care about Yokai Watch. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you all that I like Inazuma 11 or whatever. So they announced and I need to make this clear because they were a bit weird about this. This is not a Yokai Watch follow-up. This is not a Yokai Watch sequel. This is not in the same world. This is a Yokai Watch successor is the word they're using. They announced Holy Horror Mansion. I didn't think much of it. They showed the trailer. I think I probably wouldn't have even thought that hard about this if they didn't keep marketing it as like the next Yokai Watch thing. It's a bit weird. They kept marketing it with Yokai Watch wording, but then also like it's not Yokai Watch. Don't compare it to Yokai Watch.
I saw Yokai Watch fans getting really mad because they put Jibanyan at like the image right before calling it next Yokai Watch, and then it wasn't Yokai Watch.
Yeah, I don't know what they want me to think about its connection to Yokai Watch because they keep saying no. It's a new thing, but it's also you should also be thinking about Yokai Watch, but don't think about Yokai Watch. It's not Yokai Watch.
I think what's happening is they want to like bring on any like latent lingering fans of that series that they have
exactly what they want to
still
do.
remaining, but they also kind of want to wash their hands of a lot of the stigma around Yokai Watch.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't know, like maybe they have an idea that it's just gotten stale as just a brand that people are interested in, so like they just want to try to see if like divorcing themselves from it as a brand would do anything.
That's pretty much exactly what they're trying to do. I mean, I could spend all fucking night going on about the way the Yokai Watch brand fell.
I know.
Yeah, everybody here knows. That's what I'm known
The
for.
rise and fall of Yokai Watch.
I already wasn't that impressed by the trailer. If you want me to be completely honest, I didn't really grasp what it was supposed to be. And part of that is there was no gameplay because I don't think they developed much of this game. If you want me to be completely honest, Level 5 loves to announce games 8 years like before they're gonna come out. And this needs to be made straight. This game's coming out like 2028 at the earliest. You need to be ready for that. This game will be like a midlife game, the next Switch console.
I guess should I go into my scripted bit because I have like 2 or 3 minutes of script.
Yeah.
This is why I came on this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. So Level 5 has about 300 employees, which is not that much in the grand scheme, and they're trying to make like 6 games at once for almost every platform in multiple different languages for a simultaneous worldwide release with multiple of these games also involving multimedia projects.
Right, all of them have animes.
And this can't possibly be as sustainable behind closed doors as Hino wants it to be, right? Like, I don't like to peg an entire company's efforts on one guy, positively or negatively, generally, because that's not true. Like, game development is entire companies. But I think Hino's specific vision as a creator and also as an executive is really what has brought this company to this point where they can hardly release any of these games. And also, he has a personal connection with Inafune and Concept. I believe they're working together now, which doesn't help because I think the absolute worst collaborators, considering the predicament they're in, is the people who made Mighty Number 9.
yeah, it's just going great, and I think we have to bring this up because it was. I
have more. So do you want to bring that up? I do have more.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that I'm open to the idea of Holy Horror Mansion as a general concept because it could be a fun, unique spin on the Yokai Watch formula with this fusion crafting thing. But here's the thing about this trailer. I think the way they went about revealing this to the public was absolutely horrendous. Mm-hmm. They should not have showed during that presentation that should have never been seen outside of investor meetings. That is what that trailer was for.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. That's what the trailer felt like to me.
Everybody is getting upset over the Gen AI, but it's Ryan, you said this already, but the reason the Gen AI is being used for all the assets is because outside of character models, they have not developed 1 inch of this game.
Right,
this game is not goddamn real right now. This is all concept footage. And they could have saved themselves a shit ton of public embarrassment with the AI thing if they just didn't show the trailer. The concept of the series seems fine, but this trailer was a freaking acid trip. It was what if the iPad babies who just turned 10 made a game trailer?
The Pineapple Pen guy was there?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they have the gall to make this their biggest cross-media project of all time, after spending the last year systematically killing off every aspect of its predecessor franchise, like the Cubo prank, just shooting all the characters. They killed every single aspect of the Yokai Watch franchise. And I'm at a loss because it feels like this company has not learned a single lesson from anything about Yokai Watch's decline and the oversaturation and all of those problems it had. And it's exasperating as somebody who spent literally 10 years or more or less dedicated to this franchise and being such a big part of the fandom contributions, because everything that Level 5 is doing now feels just so deeply, tragically unserious. But don't worry, guys, the pineapple apple pen is in the game, so video games are safe. That is where all the budget went, is to getting the 3 pop artists for this trailer.
They had a few there was another guy on this who was a semi-known guy overseas, I believe. So they got celebrities for this trailer. Don't worry.
I think
Kevin, they got that dance group that was on America's Got Talent, and it was.
Do you want to walk through just everything that happens in this trailer and everything
I had to pull it up
disastrous
again.
About it?
Yeah, okay.
Just for everyone who hasn't seen it, because I watched this and it was I kind of couldn't believe it was real. I've never played any of the Yokai Watch games, but it looked ridiculous.
So the first thing that stuck out to me, I think, is that the POV protagonist character is this filthy rich kid who lives in a mansion / apartment building. There's some kind of weird Japanese language things going on there because the loan word mansion actually means apartment. So I feel like part of the reason they put a mansion on top of an apartment is to get over the language barrier. But anyway, it feels already like they're losing what actually worked at the Yokai Watch because they put this completely unrelatable. Yeah, sure, he's a 10-year-old kid, and I guess 10-year-old kids can relate to other 10-year-old kids. But this guy is from some rich background and a haunted family.
He's from a rich landlord background specifically.
Yes. And it feels like they're missing what made Yokai Watch so successful. Was the fact that it felt very ordinary Japanese suburb and some urban and then some country. It felt very nostalgic, and that's why it was able to connect to so many audiences. It feels like they're already losing kind of why that series worked.
And that's a problem Yokai Watch was already facing after the third game, I would say. That's a problem I always had with the series kind of after the third game. So the third game's the last time they really did anything that's okay, you're a kid in a town kind of thing. After that, it was okay, now there's awesome badass guys shooting beams or something.
Oh my god, look at the intro Yokai Watch 4.
And to be clear, I like Shadowside a decent bit, but I do think the series really lost that core appeal. That's something I always when I was younger, I didn't express it very well. It's like there's anime guys, so I don't like it. Now it's like more of like I think the spirit of like childhood that is present in the series is not quite there anymore. It'd be like if like they made like Mother 4 and you played as a guy with a big, huge sword and angry eyebrows or something.
Yeah.
Before, but you play as a salaryman.
Yeah.
You work a 9 to 5, and you also happen to have psychic powers, and your psychic powers are used only to remove people from the train who are standing in your way.
So, I want to get back to the trailer real quick. They keep cutting to people dancing, and they'll call it like, okay, this is the green concept dance, Santa. What does that mean?
This is about. This doesn't mean anything except for the fact that, see, look, this is a multimedia project, and we're getting all these celebrities on board. Like, that's really what baffles me the most about this whole thing, is what could possibly make them think, after the way Yokai Watch went down, and the reasons Yokai Watch went down, their next step is, okay, let's make this the biggest multimedia property we've ever done.
They love multimedia properties. They're fucking obsessed with it.
That's why Yokai Watch, despite like being level 5, arguably their biggest success. I mean, Layton and Inazuma were also huge like cultural touchstones of those, like the DS, 3DS era. But Yokai Watch was like a phenomenon fad on a whole other level, and I think that kind of ruined the company in a sense because they basically are chasing the dragon. They want lightning to strike.
Yeah, I said this. I said this before. I love Yokai Watch. It's my favorite level 5 series. It's one of my favorite video game series ever. But I think it destroyed level 5's brain a bit. I think when Yokai Watch came out and got massive, I think it destroyed level 5. Like internally. Like I think it broke like Hino's brain, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I like pinned Hino specifically, because he's really the big like creative mind behind all these things, but the problem is that his creative mind is too big for what his company is actually capable of doing right now. Like, I do think that Layton is going to come out. I think Layton is like, see, the one thing that level 5 showed in that whole presentation is a lot of cutscene, and Layton is mostly like visual novel type gameplay with like point and click and cutscene and puzzles. So I think that will come out. But the other games, the problem is that they continuously keep adding on these huge, ambitious new features. Like all of a sudden, Inazuma 11, which by the way was announced in 2016.
Yeah.
This year. Now they're adding like this whole huge character customization system and town building and whatever. And it's just like they're biting off way more than they can chew. And I feel like
delay a game by like 2 years, like in this like presentation, to add an open world feature to it.
Yeah, Fantasy Life was supposed to come out this month. And then it's like April or something like that. And it's just like we're gonna see a story one day, almost like we did get an anonymous story about the localization problems with level 5. We're definitely going to get a story someday about how this fucking game publisher is like on a complete insane crunch mode or something like that. We have to know at some point.
I remember reading something pretty recently. The Layton game that's coming out basically only exists because Nintendo asked them to make it. I kind of wonder.
Nintendo's like, please make this an IP.
I kind of wonder if that's why that one has had a bit more of a smooth development process than the others, because Nintendo is probably eyeing that one a bit more. Like, hey, just make a Layton game. You don't gotta make an anime for it. You don't gotta make the Layton Watch tie-in toy. We just want.
I wonder if they probably just said like, get it done by this window. That might have been a huge.
Nintendo.
Is it exclusive? It is Switch exclusive, right?
Yeah, Nintendo likes Professor Layton. It was one of their big hits on the DS. Nintendo's always very much supported Layton out of all their series, like particularly. Yeah. So I'm not surprised they want another one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo's like eyeing them as instead of like, you guys can't like make
I'm almost a little bit surprised if that's the case, because I feel like level 5 definitely burned a few bridges with Nintendo. First of all, I think they said I'm forgetting if it was them or Game Freak, which is a really big difference. It was probably level 5 that said.
Oh yeah, no. Level 5 said that, and I think it infamously kind of came back to bite them with Yokai Watch 4, because they weren't expecting the Switch. They said they weren't expecting it to take off. So the Yokai Watch 4's development got really rushed along to come out on the Switch, because they weren't expecting it to be as big as it was. And that came out like a year development or something.
And then what happened is that they had to port it to the PS4 so that it would be playable. And
Right.
then what basically by doing that, they burned like Nintendo was definitely helping with publishing Yokai Watch. I forgot if they were doing that in Japan too, or if they were just helping overseas.
They definitely were in
But
America,
I
yeah.
think killing off the exclusivity for Yokai Watch is definitely a big reason why that series fell, because that now they were self-publishing, but because of all these different projects they had going on, their marketing
Hello?
and publishing capabilities were like down low. So without Nintendo's help, they were just not able to continue being stable with Yokai Watch. So porting it to the PS4
Yeah,
was really a mistake business-wise, I think.
That was weird. I think they did that just so the game would run well on something, because it ran really bad on Switch because they didn't optimize it whatsoever. But it didn't sell well at all on PS4, I think.
Oh, it sold terribly. The audience for Yokai Watch is not on PS4.
No, it is very much a Nintendo franchise, like in terms of like console owners. And yeah, that one had a bunch of one cut. I think when Yokai Watch 4 was first announced, if you look at it, it was very clearly supposed to be a Shadowside game. Like a lot of the marketing for that when it first was announced was very clearly like Shadowside. And there's a lot of just stuff that was clearly cut. When there was like a demo, they showed like Hiro Jibanyan, and he's just not in the final game whatsoever. There's evidence that
there's anime-only segments that had a toy, and that lasted for like, I don't know, 3 months, and they just never used it again.
Yeah,
that was a lot of stuff in the anime was like you could tell when they were starting to fall apart. Obviously, I know a lot about the Yokai Watch anime because I translated 100 episodes of it. There was a lot of like you could tell when they were starting to panic as a brand when they just tried to start like 15 different toy lines, and just none of it worked.
There was in the intro of the game, this is something I've talked about before. The intro of the game, you can see a bunch of like arcs, which are like the things you use to summon yokai. You see a bunch of arcs for for Shadowside yokai that aren't in the game but are in the anime are still present in the intro. So like clearly they were supposed to be in the game, and like I would say like over half the Shadowside yokai from the anime aren't in the game, which is like not what they usually do.
And then there was the whole thing with Y Academy afterwards, where the anime was clearly the priority over the game. Like it almost felt like the game was an afterthought that was made just so they had a Yokai Watch game.
Yeah.
Because they like prevented people from streaming the game or something like that because they didn't want to spoil the anime. And it was so like this is what this multimedia brain has done to them. And it did happen with Inazuma 11. They had an anime airing in like 2018 based on the Inazuma 11 game that is no longer the same name of the game. And it's just like it's crazy.
And then there's also evidence there's also evidence that there's supposed to be at least 2 more watchers playable in the game. I think one of them was clearly supposed to be Inaho because the way she's written in the game is very hand wavy, which is why she's not playable. And the other one's probably like the girl from Forever Friends. I would be surprised if that was the other one. There was a lot of characters cut. It seems like there's a lot of yokai cut. There was only 99 yokai in the game, which is less than 100, and a lot of those are.
It was not a monster collector. It was definitely more of an ARPG at that point.
Yeah, and like a few of those 99 were recolors too. So it was like more like 85 like unique yokai.
Man, looks like Yokai Watch had their own Dexit.
They did have a Dex, and it's really funny because this was all happening around the same time as Dexit, and people are like, "Wow, Yokai Watch 4 is so much better than what Game Freak can do."
Yeah, that was really embarrassing as someone who was following this game. It was clear like that wasn't happening. The thing about Yokai Watch 4 though is I always expected there to be like a roster cut because like the gameplay was going to be completely different. It was a completely new engine.
Yeah.
There had to be new models. I expected it. But I was like thinking like it would be like 150, like 200. That's like a reasonable amount for a monster catcher. And when the game came out and it was only like 99, it's funny it's 99 exactly. By the way, like they couldn't even get one more end to like just get 100. It was funny it was 99 exactly.
Yeah,
they could have added in one more Jibanyan.
Like I get why, because I think they wanted to make the game more about the human characters at that point. And it's got like there's nothing wrong with experimenting with the battle system. I think if anybody cites something cool about Yokai Watch 4, it's usually the battle system. But it just feels so unfocused.
And, yeah, I guess that's the thing about Yokai Watch though too, is I don't know if it's a hot take. I never really thought the appeal of Yokai Watch was 100% the battle system. It was more like the world you were kind of in. It was like this like very like you're like a kid in like this world kind of atmosphere, and the battle system was always like a means to an end. It's fun. Like I don't hate it at all. Like clearly I like it enough to like love the series and all that. But I think it was always just one part of the series to me rather than like the core. I think for really focuses on the battle system as if it is the core of the series, which I don't think so personally. We got a little off topic from Holy Horror Mansion though.
Yeah, can I just say, I feel like we haven't given enough parlance to the fact that this trailer, this 3-minute trailer, there's probably like 10 seconds of video game footage in this.
10 is
The
generous.
rest of it,
It's not video game footage. It's proof of concept video game footage. That is definitely not.
sorry. the concepts of a plan of a video game. And one of those segments is indeed, I mean, we touched on this, but I really want to give this emphasis. The pen pineapple apple pen guy who was in the Emoji Movie like 8 years ago shows up in this trailer. He does his little like routine where he's like, I have a pen. He does that. And then in the video game concept, they show the creation of an Apple Pen chimera in the video game. Like this is something like this is like an integrated part of the game. They're gonna have the pen apple from the Pineapple Pen song in the game.
It's so weird when this game comes out and that song will be like 15 years old.
Legitimately.
What is
I
like?
remember-
Go on, Rosa.
I was gonna say that guy. The last time I remember that guy being relevant was when I was cis.
That's an
God.
indication how long it's been. Why is he here? Is that meme like slightly bigger in Japan or something?
I did hear that apparently this Pico Taro is still used a lot in Japan for stuff. So I guess it makes more sense in that context. But it really drives in that feeling of who is this for? Because it feels like a very kiddie trailer. But when Pineapple Apple Pen came out, the kids were like 2 years old. So who is this for?
I just think it's insane. They're like showcasing like the game's core feature with that in this trailer. Like they're like we need to go ahead and demonstrate like how this game works.
Right, that is tied to what is going to be people's first like impression, their first vision of what this game is. Like that's kind of nuts. Like what would be an equivalent to that? If in like the Pokemon like AZ whatever reveal they did. Like what if freaking I don't know, what if like one of the Paul brothers showed up in that? And then they showed like a model of like Jake Paul boxing in like the Pokemon video game concept as a character.
He wasn't
Like,
the
that's
Pokemon cards. He was grifting on Pokemon cards at some point. So like it could happen.
There's a part near the end of this trailer where like they show a battle scene, and I'm like, look at it now. And it's funny. I know all the telltale signs of like a fake level 5 like gameplay segment. This is so clearly like not from the actual game. This is something they animated to like to show a bit of gameplay. This is like how it looked like when Yokai Watch, because Yokai Watch actually was revealed in a very similar way. Where like 90% of the trailer was like cartoon 2D anime footage, and there was like 3 seconds like Nate and Whisper walking around a 3D world.
Oh yeah, it was not the same game at all. It was for PS3, I think, at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, when and then they went like radio silent on it until like 2 years later, when suddenly they revealed it as a 3DS game. But I think that they're already saying that they're going to reveal more about Holy Horror Mansion next year, but only the multimedia part, not the game.
So
all of the multimedia part.
The anime is going to come out like next year, and then in 2029 we'll finally get that game.
Yeah, same. Apparently, they delayed Deca Police because the thinking is that they delayed Deca Police until 3 years later than the originally announced date, so that they could have the anime air at the same time. But like, I have a feeling that the anime for Deca Police is going to air, and the game is still not going to be out. It is not going to be ready.
I just, they're insane. I don't know. It'd be like if every time, it'd be like every time like Nintendo released a Mario game. It's like we need to have the Mario anime, the new Mario anime, not like a continuation of the previous one. It's the new Mario anime, and the new one has to be ready for Mario Odyssey. And we'll delay the game if it's not prepared.
God, that's also like Pokemon's issue.
Yeah, but Pokemon is such a well-oiled machine at this point that it could pull it off. Like a fan, there was definitely like a game development problem in that like Scarlet and Violet very buggy, and everyone knows the story. We don't need to talk too much about why people were upset with Pokemon. But the general audience base really didn't notice that much, and like all of the multimedia is still raking in billions of dollars. So Pokemon can get away with it. Level 5 cannot get away with it.
There's a part of the end of the trailer where they kind of pass off as a gag. They go like, "Oh, systems secret release date. Who knows?" Like, all right, man, this shit ain't coming out till 2030.
They did the being ambiguous about systems with a lot of the games, and obviously it's probably because Switch 2 is getting revealed soon,
Right.
but they can't say that yet. But like, I really do genuinely think they don't have any of these things plotted for this particular game.
I still just don't even know what this game is supposed to be. To be frank, though, like you fuse monsters.
We're not supposed to.
Like you fuse monsters, but like, do you get like a full party of them, or is like only like one that can change form? And like, what do you do with this monster?
I mean, I think we already put it well that it seems like something you would show to investors,
Yeah.
get them interested in the idea of a project, and not like a clear vision to convince you to actually like buy it as a game yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Switch 3 launch release. It will be on the Switch 3 at this point.
It's like the Metroid Prime 4. It's like, Switch 3 will launch with Holy Horror Mansion, but it'll be also in the Switch 2. But like Switch 3 are like performance enhancements.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine what this game is supposed to be. Like, does it all take place inside the mansion, but then sometimes you just get to go to another place? And like, are they like yokai?
You get to go in this. Apparently, it's supposed to be like a whole bunch of jumble of stuff, because like one of the AI parts was like this fantasy like cupcake worlds.
Right, yeah.
And so like it seems there's not a consistent setting for this game, is what it feels like the direction it's going. And of course, anything could change in that department because there is no game. But you know, I don't know. It's
Just
very, very jumbled.
It's the part where they're found outside the coffee store. I mean, I guess you go outside.
Oh, the Covfefe Cafe?
Oh my god.
The cafe.
You know what would be really funny?
Yeah?
What?
Like, for some reason, like, the first thing they show is in the game, it's like they're referencing like that one TikTok where it's like at night people are finding, it's like, oh, they just found out their favorite cartoon was off the air for over 15 years.
Which cartoon did you go this hard for?
Parking lot.
Yokai Watch been
yeah.
off the air for some time now.
That video is so funny. Just to talk about the Ed, and Eddie's been canceled for years video. Did you know someone died in that video?
Wait, what?
Like,
Wait,
where
for
that
real?
happened? That thing he was filming, and like shots were fired. Like someone actually got shot and died, and he stayed there. He stayed there filming like the panic and carnage while people were fleeing. I just think he's like, we should give him more credence as like a true journalist. Like he was in the heat of battle there. He risked his life
This guy
for the
sounds
Ed,
like
and Eddie comedy.
this guy sounds like one of the world's best improv comedians. Like, to be able
Yeah,
to
it
continue that.
really had to be like
Dying.
he saw that happening, and he was like, "I'm gonna make this about Ed, and Eddie, and I'm just gonna commit to it."
That's some shit you would do at the moment, to be frank.
Oh yeah. Watch the local artist video on the Jabroni Mike Clips channel if you haven't already.
I wanted to say, you know, we talked about Yokai Watch 4 a bit earlier and how it changed, like, when they got, you kind of tell they got, like, shaky feet about making it Shadow Side only and added original Yokai Watch. And I joked about this somewhere, that, like, this is gonna happen again with Holy Horror Mansion. They're gonna get really nervous about not having a Yokai Watch game, because, like, Yokai Watch will suddenly get popular again somehow, and they'll get really nervous, and, like, the next trailer will come out for this game in 2027, and, like, Whisper will be in it now.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the
my
reason it's
God.
getting popular again is because all the kids that grew up with it are now 10 years older,
Yeah,
and they're old enough to be on social media and use the internet. So
No, I've noticed
they-
that. Yeah, like,
yeah.
there's so many, like, Japanese, like, art pieces I see with, like, 60k like likes on them of like Yokai Watch stuff.
Yeah.
I see like clips like a lot many. So like not like ending Yokai Watch like do this instead is also just striking at a horrible time. Now nostalgia for it is big again.
Yeah.
It's happening overseas and overseas fandoms too, and it's really surreal to me because I have been into this franchise for literally almost 10 years, almost to the date. I think it was like really early 2015 I got into it, and I have seen everything like literally everything, and it just kind of it feels very surreal to see people coming back to like this ghost town, pun not intended, of a franchise, and it's just like blowing my mind. Kind of.
Hino's gonna see all the fucking like Yokai Watch like nostalgia posting, how people want another Yokai Watch game like posting on like Japanese Twitters, and he's just gonna walk up like in a board meeting. He's just gonna like walk up to the wall, and just punch it really hard.
Next to like the wall on
threw spaghetti onto.
Do you think they might just, I don't know, like I feel like they're almost gonna start regretting like not doing anything with Yokai Watch now that's like, because they take the big thing with Yokai Watch, I think, even more than like any personal problems I have with it, is they were just releasing way too much of it at once, and like I think people just got really tired of it. It just needed a break. And now that like that break has happened, people want it again. But like I don't know, are they so dedicated to this like they won't do another one like until this one is out and done with?
I mean, they killed the manga. They killed all the games except for one mobile game. They killed the anime is over.
Wasn't the manga the one where everyone died, like an Attack on Titan?
That's how the manga ends, right? It's like what is it like?
Yeah, the manga ends. I think it has an open ending still, but
I just remember something where like I don't know, Enma like pulls like the super switch and like everyone dies or something. I don't remember exactly what I read. There's something weird.
I think so, but then I think it gets reversed. I don't know. It was like, I mean, it was also like probably the most serious Yokai Watchers tried to be in, and it was in a freaking Koro manga. But yeah, it's the most like serious it's tried to be without being edgy in a long time. But I don't know. But yeah, so that ended after a 10-year run, and it just like that was really the what? Oh, okay. Just look at the image on screen. Yeah, that was like really felt like the death knell because the manga was the one thing that we always joked about was going to keep going forever. And they do still have like some spin-off manga going on their like level 5 manga platform. But I don't know. It feels like Yokai Watch has entered the phase where for the next 10 years it's going to be collab cafes and mobile gacha, and that's all you're going to get.
Well, Puni barely even feels like a Yokai Watch thing sometimes anymore.
It's a monster of its own at this point. Puni feels completely divorced from anything.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I'll like check Puni sometimes, like what they're up to, and I don't know, I just feel lost, man. Like there's just like all these like big strong guys with like 800 wings and like a big sword, and they're like, oh, we've added the Super ZD rank. And I'm like,
oh yeah, the power creep went insane years and years ago, but I think at this point it's level 5 showing off how many connections they have, like how many big IPs can they get into this game.
And I'll just look around just look around like, where's Hungramps? Where'd he go?
And they've put Final Fantasy 7 at least 3 times at this point. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know, like Puni, I like look at Puni stuff. It's like I don't even like make like they used to just like events like, oh, it's Christmas time, here's like Santa Whisper, and all the events are like okay, here's Zulnar from our new lore segment we're doing only in the mobile game, and he's got 87 wings and the biggest sword, and he's a Zabo Zebel Deeble rank with the bonus Zebu Bingle. And it's awesome. And this is the only Yokai Watch thing left.
Power scaling potential.
Tommy has a Yokai Watch nostalgia bit. It feels like it's big enough.
I think at one point I said he hated it, but I can change my mind on Tommy whenever I want.
Well, yeah, because now it's the cool nostalgia thing. So
right.
Tommy,
right. Now you can think it's awesome.
Yay.
Yay! Hooray!
Yeah.
Every time level 5 reveals a new game, Tommy's gonna go, "Where's Koma-san?"
Oh my squirrels!
Koma-san will fight his damn way into Holy Horror Mansion once like they get 3 years of development and then restart it because like they got nervous, and then Koma-san will be in the game now.
We're almost 90 minutes in. How are the Zumbinis doing down in the Club Penguin mine? Because our progress bar, it's pretty low considering how far into it we are.
Now, they were having a tough time, but they just got a new stock. Alright, let me make contact with the Yubbles. That's what they're called.
The Yubbles. Okay.
The Yubbles. Alright, hello? Lester, you there? Oh yeah, Lester, how's it going down there? Is that so? Oh, that sounds pretty tough. But is everyone alright? Damn, they lost a booty. One of them lost their like explorer booties, but they managed to get
okay.
through. Apparently, they were dealing with the creatures called what was it again? Yes, the goose shrew. They'll send me a picture, but here's their progress.
Okay.
And then here's what they were dealing with down there.
They're doing pretty. You have that ready? They're doing. Where Rosa's talking about her Zambonis like David Lynch talks about his Woody Woodpecker plushies. Whatever! You're freaking flugels. You're flammable.
Rosa, you know what you're making right now? You're making like an educational PC game or something.
That's what the Zambonis are, yeah.
Like they're gonna like sing a song about like counting before you start the game.
I think this creature is what happened to the giant rat in Rat Movie 2 when he got flushed down the toilet. Is what this creature that Rosa has said.
That's why
it's called the goose shrew.
That's why we they call us cyber grannies. It's a fucking game.
All right. Good luck, Lester. Good luck down there. Make sure everyone's alright.
They are not filling that bar before the show ends.
Oh, they will.
I don't believe it.
Good workers.
They're barely even halfway through their adventure. I don't have much faith in the flugels.
Oh wow!
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. They'll make it.
You promise?
We'll see. Want to bet on it?
I bet you $1 million bajillion dollars. When the boomstick.
Yeah, Boomstick from Death Battle. That's right.
I came to the conclusion recently, just all my voices are just some variant on Boomstick, to be frank.
Don't give yourself too much credit.
Okay.
I know we got to move on from Yokai Watch, but I do have one quick funny story because I haven't gotten to talk about this on the podcast yet. About the bootleg
yes.
Somebody mentioned Forever Friends. So long story short, the Yokai Watch movies never got officially subbed past the first one. The first one only got dubbed, it didn't get a sub, but the Yokai Watch movies 2 through 6, I forgot there's 6 of them, did not get officially subbed into English, but there are bootleg DVDs with fan subs on them. And you'll never guess what I found in a random store selling Japanese DVDs. It's the Yokai Watch Forever Friends movie with our fan subs on them being sold at a retail store.
Oh my god.
Which is very much illegal. And the funny thing, and also the stupid thing in hindsight, is that we put a disclaimer at the beginning saying this is not for sale at retail. If you buy this, you got scammed or something along those lines, and please support the official blah blah blah. Whoever encoded this goddamn DVD just removed that disclaimer from the beginning.
Wow.
So yeah, basically, our subs are on the black market somewhere, and I have a copy of it, and they look really bad. So that was humbling and also terrifying.
Well, I guess that's pretty wild to have happened. Like genuinely,
it was very, very wild. Did
you just accidentally encounter that, or did someone have to tell you about that?
I did hear about them, and I heard of a store that might be selling things like that, and so I went, and yeah, I wasn't sure if I expected to actually find it or not, but I did, and it was just, it was so funny, honestly.
Well, hey, good enough to be the real thing.
You could, yeah, it depends on your definition of good. I guess whoever would buy a bootleg DVD in the first place wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's something.
we should have encoded those. We should have baked those into the video, which is what hard subbing means. It's one of my fan sub group members is in the chat saying we should have hard subbed, which means we should have baked it into the video because then they physically couldn't take it out. I mean, maybe if they wanted to, they could have just put like a big black box over it or something like that in the video.
Be a little funny.
Some people would still get scammed. Yeah, that's the danger of doing anime fan sub translations, which, I mean, fan subbing is kind of dead for the most part because there's official alternatives for most anime now, but not Yokai Watch. At least not for most of Yokai Watch. So that's my funny cursed story.
I just want to say one more thing about Yokai Watch before we move on, because I just remember this. Last year they celebrated the 10th anniversary of Yokai Watch. Was it the 10th or was it this year? I don't remember. They celebrated semi-recently.
Last year.
Yeah. And they like made it like a big marketing push and it was a little funny because all they really had to show for it was like a website where like you could go to like the games and see like 4 pieces of concept art per game, only 4, like only 4 per game, not too much, not too many. And then they did like DVD commentaries of the movies, and like that was it. But like they kept like marketing it, like I don't know. I saw people talking like, "Oh, it's huge. It's gonna be huge." So it's,
And then it was the same year where they killed the manga, killed the anime.
oh yeah,
killed the other. It was like, what kind of, this is like reverse anniversary or something.
I think you could just buy characters from Yokai Watch, like the rights to them at this point. I don't know. Just think about that. Like, can I buy Inaho and Unisapon for like $5? They're not gonna use them again.
I don't know for $5.
They're in the bargain bin, unfortunately. They deserve better.
I know some companies hold
no,
on
that's
to
good.
very weird things.
I mean,
Just-
in the US, I think all the copyrights for Yokai Watch stuff lapsed. Like, I think nothing was renewed. So, have fun.
Finally.
Finally, you create a Yuri.
You can make the Yokai Watch area of your dreams.
You could always do that.
Yeah, sorry, we turned this into the Yokai Watch podcast, but that's what happens every time I come on the show. So.
Well, we had to talk
You're right,
about
I'm proud of my son.
we had to talk about the Pineapple Pen guy. He's in his new. I hope he's
Yeah.
in the game. Level 5 loves putting celebrities in the game. Like Y Academy, the thing they did was almost solely marketed on the fact they had YouTubers in it, which is really funny.
Really?
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
How they
did
had
you-
like Ika and stuff in the
Yeah,
Y Academy.
I don't know if I ever told you this, Steve. Y Academy was very largely marketed on the fact that it had YouTubers in it, like YouTube and Twitch streamer type guys from Japan in it. So like it's like no one you would have heard of probably because they're all Japanese YouTubers and streamers. But they very
As characters or just actors?
As characters in the game.
yeah.
I mean, they played themselves usually, but as characters.
I'll be honest, I thought Y Academy just never came out. It's been kind of like a joke that I've been aware of, but I've never really known about it. But just,
It happened. It very much happened. That was we spent so long fan subbing that goddamn movie. When it
Just-
became an inside joke of his own, how long it was taking.
just the way I've seen you joke about it constantly, Ryan, was so like,
Yeah.
I guess like surface level that I just assumed there was no actual material to it to riff on.
I mean, I gotta be frank. All
Tyler.
my talking of it was very surface level because I didn't really have any interest in it whatsoever. Like my relationship with it starts and ends with the fact I just think it's funny they made it at all because it's just so like, why is this even Yokai Watch to me? Like
Why?
I engaged a fair amount with it for obvious reasons, and I think like the sad thing is that it did have some genuinely interesting ideas. Like bigger spoilers for Y Academy, which is never going to come out in English anyway. But it ended up being not really an AU, but it ended up being a future timeline.
I
Where,
know
like,
that, yeah. Like all the
the characters are dead and they reincarnated as like middle schoolers, and well, they weren't middle schoolers when they reincarnated, but it's all in the Tokusatsu middle school, and like it's all reincarnations of the previous characters, and it went in very wild directions. But I could kind of appreciate that it did something interesting, even if it was nonsense interesting, because then we got Music Note, which was a bad reboot of a bad reboot of the original series.
that is like an insane thing to
God.
confirm though. Like this is an AU. This is going to happen at some point. All your favorite Yokai Watch guys are going to be murdered.
There's some kind of timeline split because Shadow Side also happened. I don't know what Hino was thinking, and I'm still naming Hino because I think a lot of this was his writing. So
Yeah, actually, what do
Adventure
they?
Time level twist.
I remember when there was that ending that came out, like talking about like what's Tyler's deal, and it's like a major spoiler.
Oh,
about, like,
wait,
Tyler's-
I do. Yes. Okay, Tyler, who was what we jokingly call the main character, it's an inside joke. He is the reincarnated version of Japanyan, and in the universe, he the person who gave birth to him is the daughter of his original owner when he was a cat, which is a really insane fact to me. And
also she
Yeah.
died giving birth to him.
So yeah, imagine if there was a new Pokemon show where the main character was a 12-year-old boy with attributes of Pikachu, and then you find out that his dead mother is Ash Ketchum's daughter. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
that's what Y Academy is. For anyone unaware.
I found it weird also, just from an outsider, like they don't really like have a lot of reincarnated Yokai Watch like guys in the series. Like
They just kind of picked a handful of them, and that was it.
yeah, I thought they would do more. Like that feels like an obvious marketing thing to do, right? It's like, oh, here's this guy as a middle schooler human. That's pretty cool. They have like 6, and everyone else is like an original character. And I don't know, it's weird.
It was Toku, and then it was aliens, and then it was evil magical girl, and this series was just all over the fucking place.
I don't even know when this is supposed to happen. I don't even know when all the yokai died. I don't know if it was before or after Shadow Side still.
At the end of exclamation point, they showed a scene where they all die. Like there's like a flash, there's like a UFO or something.
Did Nate die?
What?
Did they kill him too? Did they kill the 12-year-old boy?
I think it's implied that he did, but he doesn't show up in any capacity.
That's fucked up. Like to think about. Like
The UFO came?
Yeah, because I think the ultimate villain of the series ended up being aliens. So of Y Academy.
A UFO came and killed all the Pokemon characters. And
Yeah.
they all reincarnated. Well, no, 5 of them reincarnated as middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Maybe the rest of them are just distributed just as chi in the universe.
Whisper came back as a teacher, and like his entire head is intact as just Whisper.
Oh yes, no, that is true. Whisper is one of the few who survives the genocide. I think is what it is, and like he still knows everything that happens, and he's trying to like make things happen, to, like fix things. I don't know.
He's the chosen one. He's built different.
Back at the barnyard ending.
Whisper when fucking Mofura comes in and ruins everything.
Oh.
How is this related to Back at the Bar?
No, it was like, wasn't there a thing where apparently like Precure affected like the sales of Yokai Watch because of like the bear?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wait, what? Kumamon, like the mascot?
No,
What
Precure
bear we're talking about?
Precure has its own bear character, and like the toy sales for that were so popular, it like affected Yokai Watch's toy sales.
Oh, that one, Mofurun?
Yes.
Mofurun? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Mofo?
Mofurun.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same audience pretty much as like like elementary schoolers. So
You think they're ever gonna come back to Yokai Watch? Like I mean Y Academy. I mean, like if they bring Yokai Watch back, will like they'd be like,
it was randomly in a collab cafe this year. I don't know why.
since the game didn't sell well at all. I remember like reading it was like the worst selling Yokai Watch game ever. Is specifically
No,
what
it
it
didn't.
was.
I did very bad, and that was also on PS4. And this game did not belong on PS. It didn't even need to be on PS4. I think it ran okay on Switch. Maybe I don't know. It might have been famous.
Just imagine like how like when Phineas and Ferb's coming back, like Doofenshmirtz is gonna revert to being evil, or like and they're able to like explain that. Or, like Yokai Watch come back, and they'll have to explain why they all aren't teenagers anymore, and what cosmic events sent everyone back in time. I don't know. It'd just be a little funny if they wanted to bring Yokai Watch back, but they still wanted to like wrap up like what happened here.
Right.
Like, oh, we sent Homasan boy back in time to warn them about the aliens or something like that.
I think if they were gonna do that, they would have done that already because they brought the original show back afterwards. So
They should have done that. That'd be awesome. They should have done my idea.
You're not gonna address it.
No, they could have sent someone back in time. And then Bender comes back in time. I have to kill Jabanyan.
Okay. All right.
But then he has to kill Jabanyan's dad instead.
Of course. Right.
So this was deranged.
Yeah.
For it.
Thank you for joining us for our Yokai Watch discussion portion.
You know what? I barely get an outlet to talk about the series. I don't really think about. I don't talk about the series anymore.
That was like the fastest and most I've ever heard you talk.
Yeah, no, we exhausted that over the year.
No, I just haven't. I stopped talking about the series for a bit because I just stopped caring about it. To be just fully blunt with you, it hasn't been like until really recently when I started really thinking about the series like as a whole again. So I haven't thought about it in a while, and like anytime I checked up on it, I just kind of was like, whatever. My nostalgia for the series has kicked in a bit, like those first 3 games again. So like I have been thinking about it again. And I don't know, this series. I don't think what the series did was smart at all. I don't think most of the choices they made were smart, but it was never boring, I guess is what I could say.
Oh yeah, it wasn't boring until Music Note. Then it was boring, but My Academy was not boring, and Shadows
Well-
was not boring. It was just all over the place.
You know, Ryan, I think it's safe to say that you've said all you can until Holy Horror Mansion releases on Nintendo Switch 3 in the year 2047.
With Whispering Toe.
Yeah.
Whisper is a turtle.
Renamed to Yokai Watch 5.
Yeah.
Finally, Whisper 2.
All right. Do we want to talk about something we watched or played this week?
Mhm.
What was that? You
Yeah,
always
I'm
come
ready.
prepared. You can go first if you
Yes.
want.
Now we have a very special event happened in Precure recently.
Come closer.
I'm closer.
Gotta this damn mic. I gotta either change the wire or the filter. But how do I sound?
Fine.
You sound closer.
You have emerged from the mines.
Yeah, I have emerged from my mind and okay. So Lester gave
Oh
us
my
some
God.
update. All right, let's see how that meter.
Can we have this eat one of the things you watch as punishment? This like minor segment. This should count.
Looks like we got a good amount.
Okay.
But they say they encounter a strange creature called Purple.
Purple?
This is
That's
yeah,
purple.
yeah. This is how it looks. Apparently, it's the what's
Rose is
stole, like,
writing her children's book in front of us right now.
it's
It's
what
purple.
stole like. Yeah, look, that's purple. It stole like their boot. So
Did
don't
purple
worry.
come from the Christian Minecraft server? Because that's what it looks like to me.
Yes.
What?
Absolutely.
Don't talk like you understand what's happening right now, Curb. Please.
I
Please.
don't, but I can make an educated yes.
Yeah. You want to talk to Yubble quickly?
Sure. Hi, Yubble.
All right.
What was that? Can you say that again, Yubble? I didn't hear you when you were in the mic. Okay, Yubble Yubble has been talking to his friend Gerbert apparently about the good Lord. So yeah, I think he wants to convert us. We have
that
to go
doesn't sound
Instagram.
good. So I'm gonna close the communicator and hopefully something good happens. All right. So so recently
Rosa, please.
I recently watched an anime called Dadan Dadan.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it recently came out one episode on Netflix, and it's basically a sci-fi supernatural manga about these two teenagers who have to deal with the occult stuff. It's made by the same studio that worked on the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and it looks really great.
Oh, what is that company called? It's called like the
Saru?
Yeah.
crazy duck.
Studio
Saru,
Star.
yes.
Yeah.
Science Saru, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
famous
looks
company.
really great. It's very nice and colorful, and it does a lot to emphasize like the surrealness of like the character designs. It's wonderful. The intro
What's it
is
called?
just amazing.
Don.
And yeah,
Don?
it's on
Dadan.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's-
on Netflix.
DANDADAN.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Dun,
couldn't
dun,
get
dun.
into the manga, but the production values are very impressive on the anime.
Yeah.
Bill's a
it's
fan.
definitely yeah. And I was also gonna say that on top of that, the music, the intro is really great. It's made by a band called Creepy Balls, I believe.
Creepy
You mean
balls.
creepy nuts?
Yeah, Creepy Nuts.
Creepy balls.
I was close enough.
Wait, was that a bit, or you really thought they were called creepy balls?
She's messing with you.
No. I knew it was like something related to like balls or
You
nuts,
are
but it's like oh,
crazy.
creepy nuts.
I don't
Because
think-
like
Whatever.
I don't think creepy nuts meant that kind of nuts.
yeah. I just was thinking creepy balls because like in the anime, what was going on? It's just like these supernatural spirits and aliens are just like harassing these teenagers in the worst way possible. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So watch out for that in the first episode. Yeah, no, literally, balls are getting chewed off.
Yeah, isn't
Uh-huh.
that like the whole main plot? Is that the kids' balls are stolen? Was that the? I think that's what happens.
What?
Something like that.
Is that real?
Yes.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, literally. There's like no aliens were like trying to like reproduce, and the ghost is like stealing balls.
It's taking everything in my power.
Testicles.
It's
Yes.
taking everything in
Well,
my
yeah.
power. Not to say this, I'm gonna fail. This is just the Futurama episode where they try to take Fry's penis.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's
But
good.
yeah, it looks really good. I would recommend it. But content warning. Yeah,
Testicles.
sexual harassment.
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
more than the testicles. Well, I don't know if they adapted that one scene in the anime or not because I haven't.
No, they did. They,
okay.
well, I wouldn't know, but they did. They kind of just had like the aliens like, oh yes, we need to reproduce. We're human women. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. Well, I mean, it looks interesting. I like the Science Saru style, that studio.
No, nice
They've
to
done a
meet
lot
you.
of stuff that I've liked.
Yeah, it's really good. One of the characters looks like a Muppet when she's angry.
Come
I
on.
think
Yeah,
I-
Momo.
I always remember that
Muppet.
studio because one of the first things they did was that Adventure Time episode.
Oh,
about
that's
the food
right.
chain.
Yeah.
That was like within the first year of that company existing.
I was double checking Science Saru's lineup and got jump scared by the fact that they're animation assistants on the first Yokai Watch movie.
Have they done it all?
You're
Oh my
scared.
god.
This whole episode is thematic connections.
They did some Space Dandy, and I feel like I know which episodes they did. I didn't say like the names, but I almost feel like I know which ones. They did OKKO apparently. A bit of that, which is interesting. The one that always sticks out to me is Izukian.
Yeah, Izuken was their big cult one. Oh, and they did Devilman
Uh-huh.
Crybaby.
if you watch like an
Yeah.
anime and it like looks very quirky, I guess
Uh-huh.
it's like a boring thing to describe. Like you kind of, if you watch something, you kind of know.
Yeah,
They
they
done
have
it.
like really great, I guess, kind of like unique expressions and very, very expressive animation.
They are doing another anime, I think, probably next year. One of the author of Beastars' other manga, and
Yeah.
it's about like I think it's about there's Santa Claus is involved. I'm on the Wikipedia
Love those
page really
words.
quick. Okay, wait. This is a great setting description. So the story is set in Japan in 2080. Affected by the declining birth rate, Japan has implemented a series of control policies for minors, including arranging marriage partners from infancy, not allowing children to sleep to slow down development, and needing to use the toilet separately from adults. Young people's social status is also higher than adults. Santa Claus has been sealed for a long time because of the curse, which makes the society think Santa Claus is superior.
Isn't this the thing that Mr. Enter was trying to get made?
this whole
Plot that he fucking failed.
this whole thing would already sound like crazy. It's just then you add Santa Claus to it. I think really.
Wait. So here's the plot. So on December 25th, when it was snowing, middle school student Sanda Kazushike's body seal was broken by his classmate Fuyumura Shiori, making him look like Santa Claus. Later, Sanda discovers that he can change back to his middle school form.
What are you talking about? What are we talking about?
The plot of this series
What is it? What is this?
is Sanda of Sanda by the author of Beastars.
This is an upcoming Science Saru production.
Yes.
Okay. Holy crap.
I knew this was happening. I didn't know what it was about until just now.
I just checked.
I mean, I guess this sounds like something the Beastars author would make.
Now, I gotta ask, Santa's tits are like fucking huge.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's not a question.
Sorry, I just checked.
I gotta add.
Studio Sorrow. I checked
Oh, I see.
the two Space Dandy episodes. I checked which ones they did. They were the exact ones I thought they did, which is funny. It's like the two. Space Dandy very much like let whoever was like the animation director for the episode like really go crazy. And they did like the two I would say craziest looking episodes, and I immediately knew which ones they did. I'll put a few images of it on screen. It looks like very different like the entire rest of the series, which I liked.
This is the Santa he turns into? He looks scary.
he
He doesn't look like Santa at all.
I mean, just
yeah, like SpongeBob. Where's your jolly? Where's your bowl full of jelly?
apparently he transforms back into a middle schooler by eating jelly beans. So that's where all the jelly went.
Jelly beans?
Into his reverse.
Okay.
This is some roll
He's
doll
just
ass
picking
shit.
this up.
This is a roll doll ass story. And he eats the jelly beans to become Santa.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, we talk about there's a lot of talk about whenever like a new thing comes out, like, oh, this sounds like it was AI generated. This sounds like something that no AI could possibly come up with.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't
It's
think
just
it was
raw human insanity.
yeah. Like idiots.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I
No
just
AI would ever make such creative risks.
one thing about Studio Side Sorrow, real quick, just one more thing. Scott Pilgrim is like, I would say, like, very, like, everyone's kind of got like a similar-esque body, but I think that's like kind of the exception to the rule. I think a lot of their stuff, I'm looking at like images, like, remind myself, they tend to like build characters very interestingly, I would say. They kind of proportion them a lot more. You can kind of always tell it's them because I feel like maybe it's mean. They don't really ever they don't tend to look like seasonal anime, I guess. Like a lot of seasonal anime have this like very specific look to them. The shows are less like glossy.
The Cal art style.
the equivalent of cowards.
I would define a lot of their shows as looking a lot less glossy than a lot of modern anime, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they do use more like flat colors, just more focused on like the line work.
Right.
Science Saru seems very selective with what they adapt, similar to KyoAni. It seems like they're both very artsy studios. Studio Wit was that way until recently, but the anime industry is very overloaded. So some studios, like the ones that Ryan was talking about, like the anime style, those usually tend to take like 10 million projects.
Right.
And then other studios tend to be more selective, and those are usually the ones that end up with like these very experimental type anime.
Science Saru, I think pretty much takes on like one at a time, if I recall.
Yeah.
It's cool they did Adventure Time, though. That's one of my favorite episodes of that show. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I think they did all the like the extra intros to the show too, like for all the miniseries.
Oh,
and
did
stuff.
they? Oh, that's crazy.
I think so.
I'll have to double
I have
check.
to check. I'm pretty sure.
Adventure Time, just real quick, real tangent. That show's interesting because, like, I can't think of a lot of other shows that like would so often get like guest animation studios in, right? Like they got Science Saru in for Food Chain. They got the Small Barudas in for like that episode where they're in the pond. They got like the claymation guys that one time. They had like that CGI person one time. And I just can't think of a lot of their cartoons that do like a lot of specifically like guest animation type episodes, I guess, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I like that nowadays when we see like 10 years ago when Western cartoons used to do anime parodies, it was always very cliche, like surface level understanding of the tropes is like a comedy thing. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like when Mad tried to do anime parodies. It definitely feels like nowadays, as younger people are getting into the industry and anime was such like a big influence on a lot of up and coming creators, that like they usually tend to either get anime studios involved or just have like a more respectful parody in general. And I do like that that's a trend that we're seeing now compared to what anime used to be.
Adventure Time was like one of the original shows where everyone working on it was like a big dork, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, everyone,
like Natasha Agri, like being a huge Sailor Moon fan.
Yeah, like that was one of the earliest cartoons I could think of where like you had a lot of people who clearly watched a lot of kind of anime, I would say.
Yeah.
But Rosa, do you have anything else in your bag of topics you watched this week?
Yes, I have 2 more topics. So
your media?
So I also started watching Acro Trip. It's an adaptation of a 5-volume manga. It's about how a girl named Dade is staying with her grandpa for the week when her mother's dealing with some work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She then encounters a magical girl, and that, for the first time in her life, sparked incitement in herself. So she decided to stay just so she could see the magical girl battle it out. The magical girl's name is Berry Blossom. and she just loves her. She's such a huge fan.
Oh, is this like a clever deconstruction of the magical girl genre?
No,
Oh,
no.
It's a shoujo manga, so it sounds like it was probably playing it straight, right?
Yeah, it's plain as shit. It's basically just her. It's just like her like staying in the city just so she could just witness the magical girl stuff that happens. It's like if like a side character in Precure just stays in the place to just watch him battle.
Real quick,
So
sorry, just real quick. I wanted to confirm something Steve said earlier. I don't know if they did all of them, but I did find a tweet with an article attached. Science Saru definitely animated the intro to Islands. I don't know if they did the other ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the other ones too, because they're all kind of animated similar. They did do the Islands intro at least, and I think that probably means they did all of them. But I go on, Rosa.
But yeah, so basically that, and then she starts becoming friends with like the villain just so he can like get advice from her on how to fight like the magic girl better. It's really funny. It's really cute. Dade has such amazing expression. The villain, what was his name? His name was Chrome. He is such a fruit. He's just like gaslighting this girl to like join my side of evil, and she's like, "No, I have to be true to Fairy Blast." So it's very sweet. It's very funny. I love it. There's only 2 episodes out, but it's really fun.
all right.
I get that recommendation. And here's the last thing I watched.
The final thing Rosa watched this week.
So big thing happened in Precure recently.
Oh my god, guys!
For the first time ever, they actually have like an official romance between a Precure and like a supporting character or another main character.
Wait, is this about One Pre?
Yeah, wonderful Precure.
Did the main girl and the side guy get?
Yeah, they actually got together.
Oh wow, okay. I saw art of it on my timeline, and I was like, I thought that it was just like, wow, oh okay.
Is this some like iCarly like Sam and Freddie finally got together? Yeah.
Okay. When they compared it to like an iCarly show, I forgot. No, okay, it was. Yeah, absolutely, it was Creddy. It was Creddy. Gwen compared him to Creddy.
We have Precure finally has its Creddy moment.
Or no, it's SETI. It's SETI. Sam and Freddy is the big one.
No, SETI, right. We're so stupid. Creddy is Carly and Freddy.
No. Freddy, specifically Carly and Freddy.
Carly and Freddy. So you compare this to Carly and Freddy.
Gwen did.
What you wouldn't though.
A Precure a friend said this is kind of like Mango. And yes, of course, and to clarify, me and Pillows and Leaf Group have all agreed that they are both girlfriends. And Mayu is like the dirt that's just sitting there somewhere watching. But no, it was very yeah, it's really funny.
So I mean, is this good? Is this good news? Or?
It's very interesting for Precure because this is like the 4th time I'm aware of that like they imply a romance between like just some girl and boy. And it's like I don't have much to say about like which one was it?
Freddy?
No. No, you're obsessed with Creddy, Seed.
You're obsessed with Creddy!
I'm just latching on to
Hey, you're the one showing me all the Creddy pictures.
You're latching out on what you can grasp. It's what you can comprehend.
Yes, it's my safety term.
But yeah, so anyway, it's like there's these other 4. I don't know what happened in Happiness Charge, but I don't know that. But I seen like Fresh Precure. That one was annoying. Fuck Daisuke. Delicious Party they did that too, but like Takumi took a majority of like plot relevance, and like the only saving grace of that was like the show acknowledging that the main girl would not really be interested in him romantically. And
Yeah, doesn't he just kind of like walk off at the end of the show, like yeah, it's not gonna happen.
There's the only Yui episode in like Delicious Party Precure, where she swapped with like a princess that looks like her.
Isn't the principal in the
Takumi
Popper
notices that
episode?
wasn't you. Yes, Takumi realized that wasn't Yui because she had like some sort of interest in his existence. So it's really funny.
She's not lesbian enough. Must not be her.
No, he took all of Yui's plot relevance, but here it's kind of like I wouldn't say Iroha is underdeveloped. It's just like she's so contempt. She does not go into situation, and this is actually one of the situations she gets into. It was like a two-parter, and it was really fun to watch. Just like seeing like the expression in the first part, and then like it getting so dramatic in the second, and then just understanding like their dynamic and like reinstating their dynamics, which is very sweet and very sweet. It was also a really well animated episode too, and it's just like, wow, that's adorable.
This feels like part of Precure's like broader effort to like kind of make boys a little bit more relevant. Like they've been doing this for a couple of series. I think like the last few series. And it sounds like they're finally getting the hang of it. So good for them.
But wow, I can't believe just them being like proper friends with like everyone in the group and like being like a character.
Not being a satellite.
Right? Like Takumi was just standing to the side. I think like anime hates him. I don't know why everyone thinks he would support him or whatever.
Were they trying to make him like he looks kind of his hero design looks kind of like Tuxedo Mask inspired. Yeah. Were they trying to make him Tuxedo Mask by having him go, that's my job is done here, and then them going, but you haven't done anything?
Yeah, no, literally, no. I said instead of that, it's like I guess I didn't need to do anything, and then you was like, what was that?
It was a part in the win.
Yeah, literally, it's just like he took too much away from like the other characters who really need it, especially Yui. Poor Yui. But yeah, but no, they're really getting a better hang of. Well, I wouldn't say they're getting better. It's just that like specific circumstances just works out better. Like the last play was like Tsubasa Cure Wing. He worked out best because like he was like just a 12-year-old boy, so he has no interest in the other two, and he's just like mostly just a little brother.
Yeah, he was also literally a bird. So
yeah, a bird, and he's just a little brother. I think at the very least, it kind of just shows like him having a younger brother, older sister relation with Agaha, the first like human adult cure, was like really fun. So I just think here it's also just like the built up relationship. Satoru actually does have a dynamic other characters, especially Mayu, who was like his wingman. It's kind of just like it just instead of like taking away adds more to like each dynamic. So it was sweet. I can't wait to see like how that date goes in next episode. But
all right.
Also Toei, don't get too comfortable. We're still waiting for the Yuri.
Oh my. Well,
listen, it says a lot that everyone ended up loving the romance here more than whatever happened in fucking the Total Precure. I'm not letting that go. Fuck you, John Toei. I'm gonna get you.
John Toei. The guy who got hacked. John Toei.
John Toei, yeah, you got hacked. You ruined Delicious Party. And you're the reason why Saki has like a nothing husband. I hope he is divorced.
I'm gonna stop Rosa before she like makes a murder threat or something. See, did you watch or play anything this week?
I did actually. Let's see. I actually played a video game. I played a new video game that came out this year.
Oh my god!
If you can believe it. I played Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, which is it came out earlier this year. It's the spiritual send up to the Legend of Zelda video games for the Philips CDI. The ones where all the funny YouTube poop cutscenes are from.
That is not the comparison I expected to hear.
Yeah, no, it's like a completely faithfully like recreation of what those games are, but just like updated and made playable.
Right.
Because those games are like bad for multiple reasons. Oh no, yeah, I played the whole game. Took me like I don't know 5 hours. I did it over the course of a week. And yeah, it was really fun. It recently got an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam,
Yay.
which I saw the developers were pretty happy about. And yeah, I mean, I just say that I'd recommend it if you like funny cartoons. There's a lot of funny cartoon cutscenes. There's like I don't know how many animators exactly. There's at least like 10 different animators. It's very much a game where like each cutscene you can kind of see each person's individual style to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Which just as a cartoon lover myself, like that was a really fun part of the game. Honestly, a pretty good incentive to like explore, because it is like it's an adventure style game where you go to different locations to fetch different items, and then this item unlocks something that lets you go into this secret passage that gets you an item that serves as an upgrade to beat this boss to retrieve this item for this other character. It's one of those games, so you're kind of going all around the world doing stuff like that. And yeah, getting to see all the cutscenes was a great, I guess, driving incentive for that. Yeah, I would recommend it. You know, if you like, I don't know, kind of retro style adventure games. I had a lot of fun with it. There is a sequel tease at the end of it too. And my kind of pipe dream, I want to animate on the next game. I really want that to happen. I don't know how that would happen.
You
I
gotta
know.
use your clout.
I
You made
know.
the famous Mushrooms movie.
I mean, I have some connect. I'm friends with someone who did work on some of the cut scenes, so I feel like that's like if I have an in, that's it.
I'm gonna
So
wake up one day and learn that like
2 foot crossing my fingers on that.
like you did animation, Rosa did like character design on the sequel somehow, and like I'm gonna have somehow like not known. I'm like, what?
You're gonna have a voice cameo in a post-release update.
It's me.
Yeah. Back the
Uh,
Kickstarter so you get like a special voice.
They also had like a very popular, a very well-known YouTube pooper, Gucci-chan, do the art for the cover.
Yes, that game is so
Oh,
steeped in
really?
YouTube poop culture. Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, no, there's also Walrus Guy
Mhm.
did one of the cutscenes. He did a lot of those famous old YouTube poops. Jimmy Davis, who does a lot of YouTube poops and like CDI edits.
Yeah.
He did a cutscene in this game.
Yeah, Gibi-chan is if you know for anything, they're the one who does like all the Azumanga Daioh YouTube poops on YouTube.
Which is like a godsend, because like no one would make that for Azumanga, and they weren't for Nim.
Yeah,
It was-
it's interesting how it like pays respect to I guess the culture that kind of made the games popular. And there's even like a few like jokey references in there, but for the most part it's like it's very played straight. Like it's a very genuine game, and I think that helps it a lot. Like it doesn't feel like it's constantly like nudging you.
Mhm.
It's just kind of creating this very sincerely ridiculous kind of video game cartoon world, which I really loved about it.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
it also have like a character that's basically just like Link?
Yeah, there's like a Link type.
And is he an easy
except
voice?
he's like a bit coward.
He's like voiced by the guy who voiced Link in the original CDI games.
The guy who voiced Link voices a different character.
Okay.
And he also does like one of the tutorial narrations.
That's pretty good.
And they also have the original Zelda voice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
It's such an interesting thing to like pay tribute to. Like I can't imagine like getting the email like, hey, we loved you in the Zelda CDI games. Can you come voice a character in our tribute game?
You're a cultural touchstone.
Yeah, if I got that email, I'd probably be like, the what? Could you imitate this voice you did in this old game? Like,
This
and
old
play
game
the
that you
clip?
probably haven't been allowed to talk about ever. You probably had a gag on it, like.
Yeah, I guess you'd be surprised like what people remember though. So there could be a chance that they were like, oh yeah, I remember working on that. Like, I remember I talked to Tom Kenny at a convention once, and he talked about his experience recording for the movie Elf
I
Bowling
remember this.
like 20 years ago. So it's surprising what some people
Wasn't he like in a
strange roles
basement?
people remember.
He's like in a basement or something.
Yes, he said he went to the guy who made Elf Bowling. He went to his house and he had to record his lines in the basement.
This sounds like a crime scene waiting to happen.
So that's kind of the joke he made. Like, you know, I hope I get the check back if I even make it out of here. I said.
He's gonna get lost in the mines with Yabu.
with Yobel. What's
Yeah,
her name?
all the yibbles and the purples and the goobies.
Yubble. Yubble.
You're gonna do
Yabble.
Yabu Bowling. It's gonna be the sequel.
So
Yeah.
any more thoughts?
Yeah. No, I also just watched the Beetlejuice musical. I can make this quick.
Okay.
But it's a good musical. It's on the Internet Archive. It's like a fan recording of it because I guess it wasn't ever officially recorded.
No, that was most musicals, like 95% of them.
Yeah, but now I've just been trying to collect Beetlejuice media now since the sequel came out and I watched it. And it's interesting how the movie, the musical, and the cartoon are all like sort of like divergent adaptations of a similar idea that all take their own liberties with it. Just pretty neat. I really enjoyed Beetlejuice the musical. I'd recommend it if you're looking for some good, spooky, funny Halloween media.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well,
On the topic of musicals, I don't want to name any names, but I actually had a teacher in high school that auditioned to be in the Pokemon musical.
Pokemon musical.
One from the 90s, like
Oh
all the
my God.
mascot suits
Yeah.
and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, that one.
Holy crap.
Team Rockets,
That
Rocket.
is. I remember apparently someone did found a building with all the old costumes, but are not allowed to like take it because it's also like filled with like toxic substance for just being in there.
I was gonna
Yeah.
make a joke about that. I didn't expect that to really be.
No, yeah, I don't know if she's released it yet. Because I think Lou showed us it when we were in the car with her. We were watching like a Jenny Nicholson video. I think it's only on her Patreon. Apparently, a lot of the props from that original Pokemon Live are still in the buildings they were hosted in, and they've been there the entire time, and they're like filled with black mold.
They're literally
Oh my God.
biohazards.
Yeah,
Why are they still there?
nobody. They
Has
just
no one been in there?
yeah, no, they just got left there, and then like all those buildings got shut down, and they have water damage. Yeah,
I guess understandably, nobody wants to risk getting a lifelong illness for the Pokemon musical mascot costume.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Like I see what multi poisoning does to a person. It makes J.K. Rowling and other weird Seattleites.
Oh.
J.K. Rowling's awesome
Yeah.
black mold wall that she had to change her profile picture from. So
The
man.
black mold that makes you transphobic.
yeah, the iconic one. I'm gonna surprise
Yeah.
everyone. I actually watched something this
Yeah?
week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did, and I think I watched something that nobody else watched so far. So I'm gonna have to tiptoe around it a bit. I saw Joker. No, I'm
bad-
kidding. No,
The Bad Guys Halloween special.
yeah. Can you imagine? That's what I came swinging with.
I've got something kind of obscure.
Didn't people who went to Joker like walked out of the theater or something like that?
I
Yeah.
think that it is.
that happened.
Joker 2 Megalopolis double feature. Can you survive?
Can you survive?
I'm probably gonna survive the Joker, but not Megalopolis.
So
Yeah.
I did watch The Wild Robot. I saw that. It's getting rave reviews.
Oh yeah, didn't they have like a perfect score or something on
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Something like
Uh-huh.
that. I know it's getting incredibly good reviews, and I really liked it. I don't know if I am as over the moon. That doesn't mean I hated it. Let's make one thing clear. I still said I really liked it.
Uh-oh.
I just have a
No,
few.
no, Ryan. There's only one rating. A poopy and a god is your only media scale.
Was it mid or
There's
was it
nothing in
pink?
between.
No, it was really good.
No.
I just have, I think, one big problem with it is that the pacing is a bit weird. There's a part near the beginning where I was watching it, I'm like, this is moving really fast. It feels like there should be more like quiet, taking in what's happening scenes here a bit. And there wasn't, and I kind of wish there was a few more just like taken in where the main character it gets put at the beginning of the movie type of scenes that are a bit more quiet and like allow you to like soak in the atmosphere before the plot gets started. But there really isn't.
I think I know what you're talking. I watched the movie too.
Okay.
Is it the part where they like skip a lot of time in just that one little sequence?
Yeah, I was surprised they did that so early. I was expecting that there'd be like a bit more before they did that, like a bit more of like what was happening, like before that,
Right.
where like she couldn't. It's a minor spoiler. She can't understand the animals at first. I was expecting there to be a bit more of that, like to show like the cruelty of like nature she's dealing with. I kind of wish that they spent a bit more time in there because it feels a bit rushed at the beginning. But I think after that. I would say pretty much everything works for me after that. Like once you get past that weird pacing, I think it's a beautiful movie. I don't think you need me to tell you that. You've seen from the trailers. I think the emotional bond the movie is focused on is really strong and interesting. I mean, you've seen like the story of like the robot who develops emotions tons of times, but I think they take it in a very interesting direction. They kind of like they kind of make it about motherhood is what it's very largely about, and I think that's an interesting spin on it. Is like this isn't a robot who's just getting emotions. This is like a robot gaining the emotions like of mothers specifically. There's a lot of sweet things done with that. There's a lot of like fun little side characters in the movie. Matt Berry from all the SpongeBob movies is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I think Roz is a really great character design. She's the thing that like ties the whole movie together. That character, I think she's great. I think the like story she has is great. You get really attached to her and like how she feels about things. The performance is really good on her too. I think the performance really sells the character.
I think the acting like really stood out to me just overall. Like some great. I mean, this is one of those movies where like every character is a celebrity basically.
Right.
But it's very well integrated. Like it doesn't feel. It's not like distracting.
Like by all means,
supposed to notice.
She's doing a voice too. Like she's doing like a little bit of robotic voice.
Oh yeah,
which is like
Lupita Nyong'o.
Which is more than most like celebrities tend to do. To be frank with you,
which is more than what Awkwafina would do.
Come on.
It's like.
So come on.
Zendaya is Michi.
Yeah, no Zendaya Lola Bunny performances here.
No, it's a great design too, and they do a lot of fun animation stuff with how she adapts to like the scenario she's in. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's really sweet and heartwarming. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Applause to one of the last good DreamWorks movies. I'm kidding.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
predicting that every DreamWorks movie is gonna suck now.
What's happening is they're gonna start outsourcing all their movies now. This is the last fully in-house DreamWorks movie probably, which is a bit sad. They've really made like a deal of that. Anyone's working on the movie, like this is our last kind of in-house movie. This is kind of what we wanted to go out on our own terms, kind of like not all the way, but like but like this is like kind of what like what I mean. Like this is like
I respect that they did that with an original film and not a sequel because it would have been really easy to be like, okay, we're gonna do Shrek 5 as our last in-house.
Yeah.
That is happening, but
you can really feel they really believe in this one. Like that, I like DreamWorks, but there's like a lot, even like in their more like serious movies, quote unquote. Like they love to put a joke in when there doesn't like need to be one for the scene. I wouldn't really say there's any moment like that in the movie. This is in the movie like where like they like felt the need to, like you gotta put a joke in or the kids will stop watching. I feel like they really were like sticking by what they were making here.
Yeah, there's humor in the movie,
right,
but there are very like played straight, like pretty serious dramatic sequences.
Pretty consistently too, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pretty long stretch of time, I would say like a pretty long sequence where they're trying to teach a character how to do something. And I would say like there's like no like it's almost all just like like on the emotional journey that character's going through during all this. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I liked it a
Uh,
lot. Like I said, I agree. Like a lot of great performances in it. Just a really good time, really beautiful movie.
If you're a mother, it'll probably make you cry.
That's probably true though, for real.
It's a very mother focused emotional journey.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's more I could say on it, but this is a recent movie, and I think a lot of people haven't seen it quite yet. So I do want to.
Yeah, you should go see it.
Hold my tongue a bit on it.
You should go spend your adult money and watch this movie alone in a theater.
Yeah.
Well, our theater was pretty full, honestly. There was a lot of families in there, which was fun. It was interesting because the kids were very talkative and like running around at the start. I was a little worried, like, oh no, are they gonna do this whole movie? Like when the movie started, they all shut up and seemed like they're all very engaged, which was nice.
Yeah, I think I mean, there's a whole thing where like executives kind of underestimate kids' attention spans because I think they think like random humor and wacky visuals is how to keep kids' attention. And like, okay, maybe if your kid is like 4 or younger, but like once kids get into ages where they're like perceiving and understanding stories, I think kids really like stories that to them feel advanced. Like you've seen kids get into like the big mascot horror trend. Part of why that's so popular is because kids like to get into all the lore. And it's like, it's fun for them to feel like they're not being talked down to feel like there's things to analyze in their media. There's our favorite word, media.
No,
but,
the kids felt engaged. They would like turn to their dad like behind Pete, and they'd be like, "Look, it's that thing. It's look." They're enjoying it. Curb, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Unfortunately, I've been a very bad consumer of media. I haven't really been doing too much media consuming.
Yeah, I've been consuming. Oh, you know what we do to people who don't consume media around here, don't you, Chad?
Fed to the wolves.
Oh my God.
I guess I haven't. The only game I've been playing a lot of recently is Taiko no Tatsujin, which I mean I've been playing that for like 10 years, but I fell back into it recently. I do. The Taiko, the
Don-chan.
game.
The drum?
Don-chan, the drum. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Don-chan, my friend Don-chan. No, so it is actually coming to American arcades finally after being locked to the East Japan arcades for like, I don't know, 2 decades. And I did get to play it because I went to Anime NYC, and I embarrassed myself really hard by waiting in line for like an hour and I'm pretty advanced on the touchscreen. So I tried to play songs that were way too high level, and I embarrassed myself after waiting an hour in line to play that game. And that was the last thing I did at that con. So I was traumatized off of playing Taiko for about a month.
You're gonna go to the arcade and see him in the game, and you're gonna scream. Like in the Mario Kart, probably. You'll see him in Mario Kart, like arcade GP, and you'll scream.
I'll have a reaction, and I'll start like fumes will start coming out of my ears, and I'll start running out of the arcade. And I'll do like a Dan versus like I hate Taiko. Yeah, no, I haven't been watching much recently. I'm afraid I'm turning into one of those people that gets all their opinions from YouTube videos because the easiest thing to do. Steve was so disappointed in me.
That's what Xander did like last week.
Because it's so easy to turn your brain off, like while I'm doing other things around the house and whatever. And like if I'm actually watching a show, I want to like pay attention to it. So.
No, I get you. I kind of have that same thing. I mean, we were kind of talking about this before the show went live, how like me and Ryan often don't have something we did this week just because
we're busy.
Yeah, like I don't want to like passively watch something that's actually good.
Right, like that's the
worth my attention.
That's the big thing. I don't like turning on a show I haven't watched before just in the background while I work on something. Like if I want to watch something, I want to like watch it, right? Like it. Like I don't know, like imagine like I watched Tuca and Birdie for the first time when I was watching that, and just turn it on when I was playing fucking Smash Bros or something. I wouldn't be like watching it. That's fake.
Yeah, and I'm very bad at actually just sitting and watching things for a long period of time these days. Yeah, that's all I've been consuming.
That's it.
Throw me to the media wolves and the people that are.
You're gonna walk the media plank. Curb.
Yeah, you're gonna walk the media plank sent off by the media council running the media pirate ship.
Yeah,
and they're gonna quote TV tropes at me while I'm dying.
Oh my god, the TV tropes fish.
The TV tropes. This
Maybe-
troper has not
And-
consumed enough media. Is my last
And
words.
the letterbox leeches. They'll suck you dry.
Oh,
Yeah, real quick, just one thing about Letterboxd before we move on to like questions.
Uh-oh.
If you're gonna go on Twitter.com and like say something really miserable or crazy about movies, like tweet something like that, don't leave your letterbox in bio. This is gonna let everyone click on and see like your reviews and think you're crazy. I'm just gonna say that.
Is that going to be the new Twitter bot trend? Is going to be letterbox in bio
Yeah,
with
don't-
spaces between every letter.
don't keep your 2-star review of Spirited Away in your letterbox link.
Ooh.
Like everyone's gonna see that if you like tweet something insane.
Yeah.
So
By the way, the hero's journey is a worthy story method. Just want to put that out there.
that's awesome.
Did you know that stories have protagonists? Isn't that groundbreaking?
When did that happen? When did that start happening?
What? Like when stories started having protagonists?
Yeah, it was like
Is that a recent trend? Actually, I
Yeah.
feel like I've only noticed that recently. Must be a recent trend, a recent clever trend.
so. Here's a question from our dear friend Mush. It's actually 2 in 1. They're both about The Simpsons. So I thought I could package them together.
This should be
I was about to make a joke about the protagonist media trend starting with Golden Age Simpsons. Why is everybody reading my mind today? Getting my joke stolen.
So this is a double
There are
question. Any thoughts on Bart's birthday or Sniffle, The Simpsons tapped out for mobile devices being officially sunsetted?
Oh,
I only heard a video essay on the Bard's birthday, so this is what I'm talking
that's
about.
heinous.
I actually watched that
That's
one.
sick.
Yeah,
I watched it too.
we might be talking about the same one. Yeah.
My opinion on that episode, this is my first thing, is I keep quoting I think I'm going to really miss this place.
That was the whole running joke of
Yeah, I right at my job, I like one of my things at the end of the day is I like turn the lights off in like certain rooms, and I keep saying that whenever I do it. I just keep going, I think I'm going to really miss this place.
Is that specifically the comic book guys who quoted
I
it?
just think it's funny when he says it the most, just because it's also paired with the "I don't need toys anymore."
that's gonna happen to you one day, Ryan.
When Rosa gives birth to our child, I'll say that immediately. I don't need toys anymore.
No, but yeah. Bart's birthday. If you don't know the latest episode of The Simpsons, it's the season 36 premiere. They decided to frame it as a series finale. And basically the plot is Conan O'Brien introduces a brand new generative AI that combines every TV show ending ever made to create the perfect series finale for The Simpsons. And yeah, it basically plays out. It's basically a big like parody of a bunch of like finale cliches. So like everyone gets married, there's like a bunch of funerals, comic book guy has a baby.
He's gonna really miss this place.
Yes, Mr. Burns dies. Just a bunch of crazy, stuff you would only do if the show was ending, cliches.
Mm.
And yeah, it was. I liked it. I thought it was really.
It's
a
kind of
really funny idea.
It's kind of a big comment on The Simpsons like non-moving status quo, because the idea is Bart like can't become 11, like he doesn't want to become 11, or like the constant like loop he's been stuck in his whole life that he likes will end. Like the second he turns 11, that means time has like truly moved forward and changed. And he's like scared of that, which is kind of an interesting like I think settle the episode on. In my opinion, is like the non-moving world and the idea of the Bart actually. If they have like a Bart birthday episode, he's turning 10 again. Is usually the joke. And he's finally turning 11 for real. Like that's like gonna move the show to real, I guess. It's like the best way to put it. Which is interesting. And he's the only one noticing like the weird changes, like how everyone's lives are getting better. There's a really funny one. Like Skinner is like, I'm leaving as principal and I'm moving towns, and then like Willie comes like, and I'm gonna be his roommate. And like Chalmers like, and I might chum every once in a while.
Right, yeah.
Like,
This is what the Knuckles show should have been.
Like just like
Uh.
jokingly set up like a finale spin-off kind of situation, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it was just a great episode. It's kind of a follow-up to one they did recently too. It's the one. It was one of the first ones where they started to like reanimate old scenes in like the Cell animated style.
And they've gotten really good at it. Want to say?
Yeah, they did it again in this one too, where they like made fake points where the show ended.
And they're all just Homer. Really they're all like Homer brutally dying too, which is funny.
yeah.
Like they have this stupid sexy Flanders scene, and then like Homer like runs through a tree and gets split in half.
Yeah. It's really good stuff.
Did they just start animating like that at any time they wanted to? Like, could the whole show just look like that again if they felt like it? That's like a weird thought to have.
I'm like starting to feel like they want to almost. I don't know exactly, because it's an interesting thing where the look of the show has changed a few times over its like nearly 4-decade run. And usually when it changes visually, it's out of some necessity in
change in format, from like digital
like a change in format, an upgrade in technology or something, and that sort of thing is kind of stagnated across TV. Like ever since the switch to like 1080p HD, there kind of hasn't really been another huge upgrade that really changed how people make shows.
Right.
Like digital animation is kind of in the final frontier. So the general like look and style of the show has not changed for like 15 years, I'd want to say.
Probably, yeah, since they moved to HD.
So they've started like experimenting more with that kind of Cell animated style. So like there's like a lot. The color choices are very like distinctly different. They're kind of more like warm and muted a little.
They've done it at least 3 times now, I think. They did it in that episode where it's like that big meta episode. They did it once in a treehouse where they cut back to when like Sideshow Bob kills like Bart, and they've done it again here. So they've done it like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to say about that one with the Sideshow Bob killing Bart. Someone showed a comparison, and it still looks completely different from the original with the different colors and stuff.
Yeah, so they completely reanimated that, like from the ground up, in an older style. Yeah.
Did they put it in 4:3 resolution?
They did, and then it like opens up when like the scene starts to change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think also. Didn't they do it for they had like a video at D23?
Oh, they did!
They recreated the Homer going in the bush thing, but then they extended it with like something else.
Yeah, Homer and Marge come out to like introduce an award at D23, and then like Bart and Lisa come out too. It's like a whole it's like a lot of animation for like something they were just shown at D23. They like haven't uploaded like a clear version of it.
I have to wonder how much they have to like fight with Disney now to do these more like out there creative ideas.
I
do they have to worry about tarnishing the Disney brand?
I mean, I don't think like even under Fox, I think they've said they don't get a ton of like creative pushback on things. Like one of the running things is like they make fun of Fox a lot on that show, and they're just kind of allowed to do it. But I feel like there's probably. I have to imagine there might be some sort of restriction on like what the show is able to look like. Like I think it feels like Fox for a while has wanted it to like stay in a style that can kind of line up next to their other like animation domination sitcoms.
Right.
And look like in line with the promotional material. I think one sign of that is I don't have a source on this right now. I'm pretty sure they've talked about this, how they're kind of pressured to be on model more, like in the HD episodes,
right?
And you can see that in the style of the show. Like the earlier seasons would like kind of go off model and kind of
beautiful Homer like cross-eyed
modify the
pupils.
designs a little more.
I love them.
Right. But over time, they've kind of become more, I guess, rigidly adhering to that, and that's something that you can see in like all of the Fox sitcoms. Like Family Guy, definitely like very strictly adheres to that.
Family Guy probably hasn't gone off model since like the 90s.
Right.
Family Guy feels less intentional and more like it's much easier to use the stay on model for Family Guy.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it looks. Brian, do you know how that show is animated? Is it?
It's all hand animated. They use no puppeting or
yeah,
anything.
so it's not rigged, right?
No, it's not.
Family Guy. What did I think? I thought Family Guy was rigged.
Nope.
No, I think they're
you know.
just so strictly on model that it looks like it might as well be rigged.
They're just that stiff in the way that they.
It's
I
a
guess
real
so.
dedication to like that specific style they're doing.
On top of like just trying to look frame it as like a sitcom.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you told me the Simpsons team wanted to do more kind of ambitious, because you can kind of always tell, like they love doing those like.
Yeah, it feels like they take every excuse they can.
They love doing those big character animation moments right now, and I feel like you can even tell with like how much they go back to like the classic style recently. There's that kind of want to like push a bit more. That's like the one thing I think about the character animation, even if it's good, is like they don't go too off model even when they do it. I think if they were allowed to, it would look even better. I'm really surprised at this. He's like, no, Homer's pupils looking the wrong way. We'll kill you.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So,
I have to wonder, is Family Guy gonna try to answer this in some way? Like, I know they're not really competing because it's all the same company, but I have to wonder, are they gonna try to do something like this?
like recreate like an older style.
They have already.
I mean, more in the vein of like being a commentary about how could they possibly end this show. I'm like,
okay, I mean,
have they done that already?
I mean, it's kind of just a more inherently meta show,
right?
Overall,
I know they had like future Stewie stuff, but like this feels almost like what Simpsons did feels almost more like more of a play on the medium rather than the show plotline.
I think it's just that The Simpsons is just so well known for being so long running at this point.
Right.
That it's kind of they're kind of doing stuff that you can only do when you've gotten to this point. Maybe Family Guy eventually will get there. I feel like maybe it's just that Family Guy is so maybe they can just do whatever they want to a greater extent. That it's kind of harder to run out of ideas for them.
I feel like how do I word this? Family Guy and like South Park is the two other like very long running animated adult cartoons have always inherently been a bit more meta and like comedy on things, whereas The Simpsons has always been in its own world. I would say they don't like comment on things too much. It's always like
it's very much started out as like a genuine sitcom.
Simpsons, I would say, is a bit more character focused on the whole than those two.
It's sort of ironic that Simpsons does the least commentary on the real world, but the meme is that Simpsons predicts things.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think it's just that they've just done so many jokes that
it
just happens to align with reality.
They're bound to hit eventually.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that the fact that Simpsons has stayed in its own world for so long, like they haven't like. They don't do those big meta episodes a ton. I think now the interest is kind of finally piled up. Like, well, we've been on the air for so long, and we've created like this world. So like, I think it's now there's a bit more of an interest in exploring. I guess what the Simpsons is like as a cultural icon, because that's what it is. Is like it's like beyond even just being a popular adult animated cartoon at this point. It is a cultural icon in its own.
Yeah,
I guess there's interest in exploring that now.
It makes you wonder how they're actually going to end it. I have no idea, because they kind of already like made fun of all the ways they could end it, so you kind of can't do that anymore.
It might just be like a regular episode. Like honestly, it might just not.
That's what I've kind of felt like. One day it's just not going to get renewed.
It's just scary.
That'll be it. That'd be crazy.
I'm wondering, are they going to end it when some of the voice actors start retiring?
Yeah,
or are
that's
they going
another thing.
Like, how can you replace these voices is a big question, I think.
I know it's been like a real like taboo. Like, I don't think any of them have really been. A few actors have been replaced for like external reasons.
Right, like
So I wonder.
actors playing black characters replaced.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, so, like the main family is
Right,
really
yeah.
like the.
No, yeah. So, because I mean, just logistically, eventually, like you are out of necessity going to have to recast them. So, I don't know. I don't know how they plan on addressing that. I almost want to predict that they will just keep renewing the show and just get new actors. Like, if it's out of necessity, right? Like,
Mhm.
I can't imagine them replacing Homer just because, like, against the will of the actors.
No, yeah.
I think they have I think they have like very tight like job security.
I think they're the
and
highest
they're-
paid voice actors in the industry right now, is what I'm
yeah.
hearing.
So
It's gonna have
So I
to be
think-
out of complete necessity, like when they literally don't have another choice.
right, or if they just out of their own will, like step away from it.
I will say though, real quick, on the topic of the Simpsons finale, there technically already was like a real one made. The episode "Holidays of Future Past" was supposed to be the finale at some point, because there was something going on where they thought they weren't going to get renewed for whatever reason. So that episode, which is a time skip episode, was developed as a finale. So we have an idea of what they might do at some point. I feel like a time skip episode, because they love doing those, would make sense to do.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's so strange because it's such a big show and it's such a big legacy. Could you even do like a 22-minute? Like, I feel like it'd have to be like a 44-minute, maybe, like
Right.
fully send that show off. I don't know.
I mean, they could probably just do like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they just do a movie length thing. Like, how else do you send off a show like this? Same with like eventually when SpongeBob ends or something. If SpongeBob ever ends, like
Simpsons Distant
that's a whole other
Lands.
can of worms.
Oh yeah. A different yet similar can of worms.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange to think about. Like, I feel like if Simpsons ended now, they would have to do like a real finale for it. Like, I don't think Simpsons will just end on a generic episode. The scary thought, I don't think Fox would let that happen. Like, if like one of the voice actors died, they would replace it for one episode, maybe, like for the finale. I don't know. It's such
just have an emergency end the show right now.
It's just Simpsons is really the ultimate. Like, I can't even imagine what a finale for this would be, because like SpongeBob, I would say like is a much smaller world. Is the best way that I could put that. Like, there's like 6 or 7 core characters, and like you would just need to do an episode with like a big fun adventure with them, maybe.
They're not as serious about keeping like their lore. I know lore is like a buzzword.
No, Patrick's house was never supposed to be a turtle shell.
No, like, yeah, like I'm not gonna think like, oh, what's the future holds for SpongeBob? Like, that doesn't matter to me at all. But like, I probably want to know what's gonna happen with Bart once I stop seeing him, right? Like, I care about.
It's a more grounded setting.
Yeah,
I think is a good way to put it. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
and also Rip Simpson
Maybe
tapped
for
out.
the rest of our lives.
I forgot Simpsons tapped out was being part of the question because I got so engaged with the first part.
Did Animus play that?
I gotta be honest.
No.
I don't know what that is.
It's a mobile game.
That was like, yeah, it's one of those like city development free to play games where you like build up Springfield and you have different buildings that you
Barney's
upgrade.
there.
Barney's there.
Real quick, someone in chat said this. Holidays of Future Past was so good and every follow-up is ass. I agree. I think like every time they try to go back to that specific like future version of them, I think it's really bad. I think
that's the future where like Homer becomes like a robot clone or something.
Yeah,
right?
I hate everything they do after the initial episode, because the initial one they do is really good. I agree, and then like everything they do like follow up they do that episode is like really bad.
I haven't even seen those, honestly.
They're like really stupid. Like Homer becomes like dies a bunch of time, becomes like a robot on a screen. Like Milhouse becomes like a zombie. It's all really stupid.
Okay, yeah.
We'll take one more because we talked about it for a fair bit. Because that's a meaty talk. Well, I think we're all big Simpsons head, like at least the 3 of us.
Right,
I'm you put me on the spot here. I mean, I used to watch it a little bit, but mostly I only like kind of tangentially know about it because it's hard to not know anything about The Simpsons, right? Like you that's not possible.
Right.
Unless
It's
you
hard to
literally
not know
don't
that.
consume any media.
It's hard to not know that Homer ate himself.
We're living in
Yeah,
a
exactly.
yellow world.
It's the Simpsons world, and we're all living in it. It's gonna be
Here's a question related to another adult animated sitcom. From Panic Betrayal in the Discord. Thoughts on the Forget About It revival? Just the fact that it
What is-
exists.
what is
Forget
that?
about it? You don't forget
guess-
about it?
Well,
I guess
well-
they never got.
Herb,
I guess we didn't forget about it and remember about it.
Herb, let me tell you about Forget About It. Let me tell you something
Okay.
about a friend of ours named Jimmy. I met a wise guy and a capo with the Gambini. But one day he found out they'd be whacking Uncle Cheech. So he took the boss and he threw him from the 19th floor suite.
Are we
That's the
sure
thing.
this wasn't a Mad Libs?
No. It was it's like a Canadian animated sitcom made for like some channel. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Some
where,
channel, some year.
where's the Canadians in chat to like explain?
Yeah, we need to is Xander can we at Xander for his Canadian consultation?
It's a very funny timing thing because very recently the show kind of became a meme on Twitter. Like at least the intro. I think it's one of those things where this happens a lot. Where, like the intro to a show becomes a meme, but like nothing else about the show. And like
So it's like Nutshackless.
yeah. And then around the same time, by complete coincidence, the show like is getting like a YouTube revival. Like it's gonna go to like shorts on YouTube. Like so, like it's not a full TV revival, but it's like they're going to be doing new shorts with like the entire cast on YouTube again. And I can't really say I have a full opinion on it. Besides, it's funny. Forget About It is coming back. I didn't watch Forget About It, but it's funny. It's coming back.
Yeah, so this was probably like in the works for a while before it became a meme, right?
Yes.
Because it only kind of blew up within the last few months.
I guess this became a meme as a result of like it being streamed like 24 hours on like a Pacific channel.
There's a YouTube
I
channel
think
that does that.
there's definitely probably some people who've had like childhood experience. Actually, do we want to get a Canadian consultant in here to talk about their history with Forget About It? So they can really understand the culture.
Sure.
It's gonna be like the Lifeline button in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's just gonna be a Canadian.
Phone a
button.
Canadian. Yeah.
Hi, Xander.
Okay.
Hi.
Xander.
Hey, what's up?
So we're talking about Forget About It right now.
Uh-huh.
As a Canadian, do you have anything to say about your experiences with Forget About It and its legacy? Because we're a little bit, we're a little bit ill informed as Pig Americans here.
That's what we are.
Well, okay. It's a Family Guy clone. I feel like everyone here already probably knows that. That's
Yeah.
what the show is.
I don't. I'm learning. I've never heard of this.
Okay, well, it's
Yeah, we
just,
still have Holy Horror Mansion on the screen.
Yeah, this is my son.
it's just
Nothing else.
Canadian Pax's Family Guy. Like, we need our own Family Guy. And I guess the best way they thought to have a character that sounds like Peter Griffin is to have a New York mafioso move to Saskatchewan.
Regina.
To Regina, yes.
Sounds like
Yes,
vagina.
Regina, Saskatchewan. And he's got a sexy wife and a nerdy Scott the Woz son. And
Now
I
hold
haven't
on.
seen-
He can't be Scott the Wells. He's
Why
pro
not?
sex.
Are you talking about?
He wa-
Yeah, Scott the
think
Woz
he
was in
throws
Chicago Party
neck?
on. Come on.
Party aunt.
There's a little girl, Stewie. There's a character.
There is a little
Who's
girl,
an
Stewie.
There's a character who is an RCMP officer. And the joke is his penis is just
Okay.
massive.
That's true. I've seen the clip. I've seen the clip of that.
So Xander, like, did you get Family Guy growing up? Like,
Yeah,
was that a
no.
part of your Canadian lifestyle?
No, yeah, we had like we didn't have any cool fun kids shows. We didn't have Adventure Time or fucking Chowder. But like I Family Guy was on the TV. I saw Family Guy on the TV. I don't really like
They found
it's
out Family Guy stopped playing on the TV.
They nerf his
they
penis.
showed us Family Guy.
Sorry.
I saw Family Guy. No, Canada has a lot of weird. I think it's just because of our like. Yeah, what's up? What do you want to know about
Well, I
Uncle
was just-
Cheech?
No, I
'Cause he
mean,
deserved
I was
to
just gonna
die.
ask, like,
I was gonna say the mob deserved to whack Uncle Cheech. Like as the series goes on, you learn, nah, fuck this guy. He's an asshole.
Right?
whoa,
But
that could be
but
like a
Jimmy's
really
alright.
cool, like dramatic finale twist. Okay.
wait, hold on, Uncle Cheech. They was gonna whack you because you're a friggin' pedophile. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm a mobster. And then he kills him. And then Jimmy kills him. That's what should have happened. That should have been the season finale.
Oh,
Well, it's not too late.
no,
and they're bringing it back.
And they're like The Sopranos, you know. Leave it ambiguous.
That's exactly how they should have ended it.
That's what
It should
everybody
have ended
hates Chris
exactly like
started.
The Sopranos.
Wait, that really does look like Scott the Woz. What the hell?
That is.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that much. Forget about it. But if you want to see something worse, if you want to put I think I might have talked about this last time I was on. But look up Crash Canyon if you want to
There's this
see a
episode
real
of Bluey.
Look up Crash Canyon
No.
if you want to see a real bottom of the barrel Canadian Family Guy. It's the fakest looking cartoon in the world.
Oh my god!
And
So I just looked this up. What the fuck? This is a fake show. This isn't real. Hold on, I'm putting this on screen. Crash Canyon is the fakest looking show. This is not real. You just made this show right now. You drew the characters. This is a fake cartoon.
I have watched more of that than I have Forget About It. I have watched both of them though.
And look where
they're
you are
both-
now.
Look at hold on. The two males are fun and inviting. They're gonna be silly. And the two females are gonna stop all their fun. I bet.
Did you have any like big reaction to the Forget About It revival announcement?
Hold on, no, are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me? Is this your fucking
You
with
didn't
me
hear
on
this?
air? I did not hear about this.
What? That's
I
why
did
we're
not
talking
hear
about
about
this.
That's what
Oh my god.
You did not hear
I
that
did
they got
not
picked
hear
up for a
about
new
this.
series of shorts on YouTube?
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought like full on we're back. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of back.
Look,
they're somewhere.
You can't blame me. This is like a totally perfect prank. Get me on the air and convince me there's a Forget About It revival. That's like
No, we would never do that to you,
that's a
Xander.
good trick. That's an excellent
No,
trick.
Xander. Oh, please.
I can't
Have some faith
believe.
in us.
Look at this fucking cast picture with all the characters. This is a fake show. What the hell? This isn't real. This is not real.
What's wrong with you, Canadians?
The only thing I fucking remember about this cartoon is like a character throwing up in a gross way.
You
Like
could have
okay.
described a kid's cartoon or an adult cartoon with that, and it would have made sense either way. It's like
they just throw up really grossly, and I was like, okay, yeah,
Cleveland
you know, I don't watch
Show
this show no more.
There is a Cleveland show bear in the show. Does this bear talk, Xander?
I don't think I got to the bear. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I got
you're still catching up. I get it.
No, yeah, my mom said I had to go to bed by that point.
Right before the bear came on screen.
No,
Just
mom,
so
the bear.
just so the bear wouldn't attack you under your bed.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
no,
nightmares.
I was scared I was gonna end up in Crash Canyon.
I can look at these characters on screen and know immediately what they sound like and like what their personality is. So these are good character designs.
Yes,
These are,
that's
these are
Right.
great
Yeah.
character design.
You know, I was looking at the search results, and then I see apparently someone's out there still playing Crash Team Rumble.
What?
Yeah, look, I took a screenshot.
Who the fuck is playing Crash Team Rumble in my Crash Canyon home?
The crossover we never knew we needed.
Oh, well, you weren't lying. 109 views. Good for them.
Good for them.
I guess that's all we have to say about the Forget About It revival. We brought in our Canadian
I
consultant.
like the transgender episode.
Was there a trans?
There is-
Hold on, was there?
There is a transgender episode.
Well, you know what?
I have heard about this.
I'll go watch that and I can report back what
Yeah,
what I
we'll
think.
stay here while you do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we'll just
everyone.
keep-
Yeah, everyone be quiet. Everyone be quiet for 20 minutes while I like. Anyway, thanks for having me. I'm glad I
course.
can be your Canadian consultant.
Right.
Go watch Kevin Spencer, the only good bad Canadian adult cartoon. Bye.
Goodbye.
Well,
Uh,
I learned so
I
much.
thought you
About,
said Kevin Spacey.
I learned so much about Canadians tonight. We had to take the pencils away from them.
yeah, no more drawing and writing for you Canadians.
It's over for you guys. Herb,
This is the end.
you think you want to promote before we end the show tonight?
No. I mean the one thing that I was known for doing is not happening right now. So not really. I don't do anything public anymore. But yeah, I sure subbed a lot of Yokai Watch. So if you watch that at any point in the last, like, I don't know, when did I start? Like 5 years ago. Thanks. I don't know. Yeah, that's
Okay.
about it.
All right. Before we end the show, actually.
So I mean,
oh, sorry.
yeah.
I just want to say,
What?
I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and we always forget. We did get a few fan art, like in the past month or so, and I do just want to share some of it. I'd like to make this more of a frequent thing. So if you draw
We forgot the meter.
Oh no! I think I hear. I think I hear the small chittering of a few rogue Zoobles.
Oh, sorry about that. They wanted to let us know they finished.
okay.
Does the Zingers have finished their great
The
mission?
Yubels! Yeah, they
The
finished.
Yubels.
What was that you were saying? Lester. You know, he has a name. You know, Lester. Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Sure. You only have a picture. You could barely make it out. Okay. Apparently they saw something down there, but they're not sure exactly what. But there's a.
Oh my god! Turn that.
What was that? What was that?
Is this
I.
Ryan? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'm putting it on screen. Is this what they saw?
Yeah, that's what they saw, right?
Oh, okay.
Lester?
Well, what is
Not sure
this?
They say it might be God.
I don't.
Oh, that's what you're saying. You're sure it's that.
They're sure.
Yeah, they're sure. But good job, guys. I appreciate it. Take a vacation. Work hard.
Who's that God? What is in their Bible?
I don't
that
know.
would lead them to that conclusion.
No, they're not sure. It kind of seems pretty abstract to them. They feel like it was like some sort of god, but they can't comprehend.
What were they digging for again? Dingles?
Tingles?
Speckles. They were. Yeah, we filled the meter up, so now I'm unbanned from Club Penguin. I just gotta verify with Well later.
And so the Lord said, "Let there be light," and then opened up the Club Penguin mines.
Yeah,
Did you
amen.
Okay.
All right,
Well, thank
thanks,
you
guys.
to our thank you to our special guest star, the Yumbles.
Oh, I thought it was
for
gonna
contributing.
be me, but the Yumbles are more important than me.
Well, I mean, before we leave, of course,
Yeah, they're finished for the day, so they're gonna head out, and then we're gonna look at the fan art.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
let's
We have a bit to catch up on. I'm just gonna show some things like the past month real quick. This won't usually be this big, but if you have fan art, I would like to start showing it on screen. It's a lot of fun to get it. Draw for me, please. That's a joke. Don't worry. This is from Papyrus Fan 1000 Discord. This is a picture of Pete, our dear friend Pete, playing on his computer while his son PJ is starving in the background. Let's take a look at that. Let's get that on screen.
Yes, I'm pulling it out myself.
Just like the ARG.
That's PJ dying. Very cool.
Awesome.
Let's see. This is from Atom in the Discord. This is like a little group picture with a bunch of iconic characters you might recognize from the podcast. Let's get those on screen. A lot of Pete tonight. Just be ready for that.
God. Yeah, I'm looking at this picture right now.
Pete and Christianity go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, or right, Lester? Thanks, Lester.
So there we got all.
Lester?
We got the two monk.
Yeah, that's his name. Did you not know that?
We got two of the monk shrooms, and the third one is a baby in Daisy's arms. We got Roxy Road from My Sims. New Norm showing off his gay beard, and in the middle, of course, you have Pete and his iconic Easter egg.
Whoa.
When did Daisy raise Eraserhead Theodore?
Is that canon now?
Is that based on something we said like 5 weeks ago?
I probably said something about the Eraserhead baby in the Subway rap, so.
Okay.
I love beautiful.
Like I said, being able to quote like David Lynch's Eraserhead is like the reason why I get called a cinephile, but like 5% of it.
Okay.
I love this one. It's great. I think Daisy should raise Eraserhead Theodore. You can make that canon whenever you want.
Yeah, she gotta change that blanket to like a Subway wrap, like the paper.
Here's from Mo Charlick Bread in the Discord. It's a very awesome, badass picture of the three monk shrooms and their enemy. This is a very cool picture, though.
Oh, their sworn nemesis. This is kind of epic.
I love how angry
I'm glad
they
someone
are.
was so I'm glad someone was so inspired by the death-defying exploits of our three heroes that they decided to immortalize their visages in this piece of fan work.
I'm glad that the chat seems more caught up on the Startcast lore than the Startcasters are.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I never watch our show. I just live it.
Hey boy, don't you live it already?
There's two videos. I'm gonna play the second video when the show's over, just to like let it play. This one though is from ecurb.oog in the Discord. It is about our dear character Michael B. Tuning. Do this on screen real quick.
Like a being to me. He's like a removed family member to me.
You don't respect him.
That's my long lost second cousin.
I think I forgot to download.
Is your last name Tuning?
No, it's we have a joke where Rosa is my mother.
I see. Very interesting joke.
Yeah, let me get this on screen. Sorry, it takes a second. My computer lags when OBS is running.
Oh yes, of course. I see it right here. This is a crazy video.
We finally made up for not having enough things on screen all episode.
Oh yeah.
We had. I would say we had like at least the most insane amount. Like Jake looking at the Philalo Tower.
Now the joke of this video was in the ready to start the podcast. Yeah. In the Starcast season 4 premiere trailer, a very suspiciously Michael B. Tuning-esque character makes a cameo appearance at the beginning, which caused people to freak out.
He was always there.
Yeah, he was always there the whole time.
I always come back.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, that's his new phrase.
I actually figured out how he sounds.
Can I hear it? Can we hear it?
Maybe show a little more fan art.
That's it. That's all I had to show.
Yeah.
There's a video.
That's it?
There's a video from Sonic Bench I'm gonna show when the show's over. Just like end it off.
Oh, that one. I love that one so much.
But yeah, that's all the fan
yeah.
art from like the past 2 months I wanted to show.
Okay. All right, let me get this set up while everyone waits with bated breath.
Oh my god.
I feel like I'm about to witness history.
You're gonna hate this. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Toon fans? We're going to be talking about all the greatest and latest news in the world of Toonimation.
Yeah.
Remember, always be tuning. Wahoo!
Is that his catchphrase? He says it in every video.
Oh yeah, he's Michael B. Tuning. He wants you to
Always be tuning.
What kind of stuff does he talk about on his YouTube channel? You think?
I don't know.
We're counting down the top 10 most disgusting, gross out moments in all your favorite tunes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
You
you
heard
probably
this?
talk about like.
Wait. Did you heard? I heard this one during the Sonic Central.
Uh,
He
Yeah.
does sound kind of like he sounds kind of like trailer voice, but cartoon YouTuber.
What happened? I was in a large group reaction to the latest Sonic Central
Okay.
that I think we've talked nothing about on this episode.
I forgot that was even in the time frame. We talk about
Yeah,
Sonic
they-
every damn week. I think you can live with one
I know.
Sonicless episode.
they revealed
Spoiler.
Keanu Reeves' movie Shadow in the Shadow Generations video game DLC.
That's great.
I was gonna say
but,
Tommy Tallarico. Sorry to curse you with that. Somebody said it in chat.
That's what that sounds like.
Apparently.
But no, during that I was that's where I debuted that voice, I think. And someone said that it sounded like Michael B. Tuning. Oh,
That's
there
pretty
you
good.
go. That's what he sounds like now.
All right. Well, I think
Always be tuning.
we're gonna wrap up the show here. I'll play the video from
Yeah, please.
Sonic Bench.
Yeah.
Anything anyone wants to say before we go?
I can't believe this was a 3-hour episode.
Was it? Wow. it
Yeah,
sounds-
we gotta do something.
I mean, we spent an hour of it explaining Yokai Watch Lures.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
good. I love that.
Oh, no.
Yubble, the Lesser wants to say goodbye. I hope you support the Yubble so they could buy one of their friends a new booty for exploration. Yeah. No, we're not gonna talk about. No, put that away. Put that away. No, I
Name the
don't
show.
care what the union said. Put it away.
So I've just got one question for you. Are you ready to rock?
Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low.
No mountain high enough, no valley